MCG before a capacity crowd. In comes umpire Jeff Crouch bouncing the ball, starting the first semi-final of the 68 series between St Kilda and Geelong. It's Alan Davis of St Kilda, gets a first kick up towards centre half forward. Goggin won the toss, he elected the kick to the Richmond end. Here's Travis Pays, who came in to fill the full forward position. A pick up here, sends the ball forward, and it looks like Baldock, who threw himself forward. A kick forward by Breen in towards a pocket. Baldock always got a long distance to kick here towards the new stand. A good start for the Saints skipper. There's his kick. It's travelling the distance, but from a very awkward angle. 1 point results. The first score of the match coming up for St Kilda. Alan Gale.
A good opening, Michael. A very good opening. Breen flashed through there, gave it to Baldock. He had to dive for it, but there's a poor kick in
from Strawn. A bad one too, but it's a chance here for the boys to get out of trouble as the ball is picked up by Hosking, kicked in towards the centre, a disputed mark. Simon couldn't pull it down. The ball kicked down by Dennis Marshall. They fly in forward, man. Curvis, it looks like.
He's giving it to him.
It could be paid it. He's only 15 yards out. Little man Curvis came in and took a most difficult mark, Alan, and a courageous one too.
It took courage, that one, because he was hit from both sides and it left Crouch stranded. He was still in a half-back line calling that one. Right on the end of the square now, Nan Curvis for the first scoring shot for Geelong.
Kicking to the Richmond end. It looks a sitter. It's on its way. It is a sitter right through the centre. The first goal of the match came up after 1 minute and 40 seconds into the first quarter.
Scoreboard 6 points to 1. A good move this of Sirakoski onto Wade. At the start, the umpire's taken a little bit of time to get the ball back to the centre. A very bright opening by St Kilda though, even though Geelong have that goal on the board. Ball back in the centre and the umpire is Jeff Crouch.
Alan, I think the wind is favouring that Richmond end. I can see a bit of favour.
Lovely hit out.
Beautiful hit out by Dittrich to Ross Smith. Smith kicks down into the forward zone. Up they go, knocked to the ground here. Here's a chance for Little Dyer. He's coming, can't pick it up though. The pressure is relieved by Ainsworth, and Ainsworth kicks to the boundary line. It's over there in front of the smoker stand. That is on St Kilda's half forward flank on the member stand side. Just as well Ainsworth was there, Butch. There's Big Carl.
Very good
Coming
effort.
in with him is Newman. In they go. Mitchell comes in to do issue. Comes down to the ground. Alan Davis couldn't quite pick it up there. Try to kick off the ground. In comes Smith. He's well shepherded. Smith tries a hand pass across here. Here's a go by Travis Page, but a wild kick. Puts it through for another behind to the Saints. When I say a wild kick, he never had a great deal of time to steady either.
It was a beautiful hand pass, but there's no doubt that Trevor Page would be nervous. Hasn't played a lot of games. Strawn kicks in. It's a beautiful kick. You can see the distance that they'll be getting all day with it. Newman, a nice turn, but the ball blocked. Down here to Barry Pascoe. A hand pass out here to Bonnie. Bonnie goes onto the left foot. It's kicked into towards full forward. Here's a chance for Pay. He couldn't get it. Down to Rosa now. Good defensive play. He was grabbed and held, but the ball now out towards the flank, and Breen is marked. Very deep on the half-forward flank.
I tell you what, St Kilda are really putting the pressure on right from the word go.
This fella's moving like a gazelle. There they are in
Breen
the square.
there. Travis Pays, who came in as full forward at the last moment. A poor kick though from Breen in towards centre half forward. Players overrun the ball. Big Carl has it. He puts his boot to it, changed his mind. He was going to hand pass originally. It goes into no man's territory. Picked up here by Pays. Screws it over. Back into the goal square. They fly for it. Knocked to the ground here by Mitchell. Players come in from all angles. What's this? The result of this? Newlands was in that lot. Play on is the call, however. Golly, it could have been a free kick either way, actually. Taken here by Alan Davis. Alan Davis runs in towards the pocket, but off the side of his boot, over the boundary line, there'll be a throw-in. Alan, would you have played a free kick, or do you think Crouch did the right thing?
I definitely would have, but he called play on, and the players didn't hear it to Geelong.
To Geelong?
Yes, definitely. In they go. Neil couldn't quite get it down to Billy Goggin. This is his first kick, tackled by Davis. Over towards Pascoe. Pascoe's on the half-forward line. A good hand pass to Stewart. Stewart shoots a long one at goal. Hit the post.
Hit the post.
Right, gee, they're using their handball beautifully, St Kilda. Still 3 points from 3 shots. Not real good. Kick in now by Strawn. Chance here for Closter. Closter and Bonnie, both number 1, but the ball beats them both.
Oh, for mine, Geelong have got the scoring end, Alan. That wind, you can see it now, especially on that outer side. There's a throw in. Mitchell gets up high, gets a tap down too. Bonnie comes in. He's tackled by Closter. Players come in. It's Stewart there with the ball. He tries a hand pass. Farman tries to knock it away. In comes Smith for St Kilda. Smith swings around, going to his right foot, kicks it high in the air. It's into open territory. Up they go. Marshall tried to pull it in, couldn't quite do so. Stewart comes out with the ball, but umpire Jeff Crouch says, I'll bounce it. Midway between the centre-half forward for the Saints and the centre of the ground. Dittrich taps it down here, goes towards Stewart, gets one in the back, he'll get a free. Oh, they're going crook, but there was no shadow of doubt about that.
Michael, you notice that Dittrich is hitting the ball out much more so than last week. There's a lead from Pays. He's being ignored by Stewart. It's unusual. And Stewart's decided to put it right onto that half-forward line. O'Donnell there in good position, couldn't mark. Ball taken away by Hosking. Gets a left footer in towards the centre wing position. Up they go. There's a chance there for Ryan, who's well up from the pocket. Through comes Sinman. He's tackled solidly by Stevens. Free kick for over the shoulder, and Sinman takes the free. He's just forward of the half-back flank.
We welcome our friends in South Australia to this first quarter, and it's been a beauty so far, and there's a glorious mark pulled down by Newman. Your commentators here, Michael Williamson and Alan Gale. Alan, the former Victorian, and Fitzroy captain, a veteran of over 214 league games. The mark taken there by Ken Newlands on the wing position on the member stand side. Sirakovsky still at full back on Wade. Bob Murray into the pocket, watching the resting ruckman. Here's a chance for Murray to mark. Oh, almost pulled the beauty in. Picked up by Pascoe. He tries to crash through. Cleverly pushes the ball on in front of him. Here's a go for Sharrock, though. He loses possession of it. They're coming in from all directions. Jimmy O'Day for St Kilda picks up. O'Day has a look around, puts his boot into it, drives up towards the half-forward flank on the member stand side. A good mark too, again to Newman. He's showing no sign of the injury he allegedly had last week.
He's the boy that's badly needed. Did you notice that Crouch is letting this go? In they go. Oh, Dave, a beautiful punch down, but Newland skipped in from the wing. Gets a long shot at goal. It's up here towards Wade and Sirakovsky. Sirakovsky just gets the hand to it. Pushes it out in front. Good football. Overruns it though there. Here's a chance. Moran backs up for him. Gets a left footer into it. Nankervis sprinting for the ball. But it's over and out of bounds.
I'll tell you what, that's a nice confidence builder for Sirakovsky.
First go at the ball and a good clean contest between the two.
And showed pace too.
Surprised me last week with his pace. In goes Dittrich, but it's a nice hit down by Chris Mitchell. Over towards Moran. He's in trouble. The ball bouncing high on occasions. Bonnie in there. Kicked off the ground. Over towards the flank again. It's a scramble of players. Nankervis in the back. Sharrock, I beg your pardon. He's about to take it, and he's on his left foot too. There's a lead from Wade. It's pushed right in there. Oh, Sirakovsky interfered with Wade then, but punched the ball away. Over again. Nice one to Ryan. A hand pass. Oh, back to Wade. Wade scrubbed it in towards that half-forward line. Andrews comes through. Sinman traps the ball. He'll have to bounce this one.
When you said back to Wade, I thought you were going to say a backhander to Sirakovsky too. Up they go, knocked down here by Barry Pascoe. Nobody able to pick it up. Barry Pascoe, oh, funny old one, but he cleared it out through sheer endeavour. Over towards Baldock. Baldock is manhandled. Play on as a call. Baldock is still going, pushing the ball on in front of him.
He's called it back,
after him.
Crouch has called the ball back. Now, I didn't see it because I was following Baldock, but it's definitely a free kick, and it's going to go Geelong's way on the half-forward flank.
Well, I tell you, he must have seen something we didn't see. Obviously, he's seen something we didn't see.
Have to be well behind the play. Gloucester has the ball, hand passing it to his own teammate. Farman. His kick goes in towards full forward. There's a chance here for a mark to Stevens and Ryan, but he's called a free here. Crouch is giving a free kick to Geelong. It's only 25 yards out from goal. The crowd not very happy about that decision and Wade to take the free.
Ted Whitten, Mr. Football, will join us in just a moment as Doug Wade comes up, kicking to the Richmond end from 30 yards out. He's hooked it though. And 1 point results. Ted Whitten, you've got a news flash for us. What is it, boy?
Well, I've just left the umpire's room, Mike, and Alan Nash is down there with the reserve boundary umpire, and he tells me they will be replacing the boundary umpire and the new member stand here with us now, Cook, who looks to have sprained an ankle early in the game.
Oh, that's bad luck for him. That's the first injury. Sirakovsky's kickoff, not a particularly good one though. Out they come, ooh, and down they go. That's Nankervis who will be awarded the mark.
Tackled solidly by Pascoe then.
Well, I don't think he had much option really. Nankervis was there for a sitter. and he is about 45 yards out. The ball is held up as it goes into the pocket. It's over the boundary line. Do you think it was a careless kick, Alan?
Bad effort, Mike. Even though he's a young bloke, this is a terribly important match. A little more care there would have put it right in the square. Dittrich in there, takes it away. Hand passes nicely out to O'Day. A big improver to O'Day. A mark to Closter.
Tell you what, that was a darn good mark, the way he pulled that in. Closter now from the half-forward flank on that outer side, kicking down the Richmond end. Wade! Oh, beauty!
Oh, umpire Crouch moving in very quickly there, as he thought there could have been trouble between Dittrich and Wade. Now he's only 20 yards out. Doug Wade having his second shot for goal. Up he comes. Looks good.
It was a very strong mark, Butch. Very
a good
strong
one. It looked to me the difference between him of this week and last is chalk and cheese. Ted, he went for that very determinedly.
Teddy Whitten, you are out there doing a lap of honour with Bobby Skilton and Peter Hudson. How is the wind down there? I feel, looking from here, that it is assisting the Richmond end, the end to which Geelong is kicking.
That's right, Michael, and it's a lot windier out there than what it is up here in the stands. I can assure you of that.
Bounce of the ball back in the centre, up they go. The knockout comes down here. It's taken by Bonnie now. Bonnie kicks down field. Pays, I thought could have been paid that, but play on as a call. In they come. Strawn is in there. Down he goes to the ground. And another free kick to Geelong.
Well, they're 13 points to 3, and it's not a bad lead. Out towards Pascoe. The ball goes too far for him. Tackled by Closter. Turns onto the right foot. Hooks it in towards centre half forward. And it's a mark to Newman of Geelong.
Down there early on at ground level, Mike, the St Kilda players, when they did come forward, looked very nervous in their approach to handle the ball.
Look at this, Mitchell.
Right in the middle of the MCG. Up he comes. Nice drop kick. It's in towards Wade. And it's punched away by Sierakowski. Down onto the ground. Bill Ryan has it. A good hand pass out to Nankervis. He snaps at goal, but he's put it right across the face. It'll be 1 point. Another point to Geelong will give them 2-2, 14 points to 3.
Mike, I was going to say, young Nankervis, I heard you mention a moment ago, possibly a little bit nervous at this particular stage of the game. I agree with you. It's a marvellous thing to be out there, but for a player playing in the game, kicking for goal so early in the match, no doubt the tension is still with him.
Sierakowski kicks off. This is a better one. He penetrates to the back line, but Mitchell, moving in front of Cowboy Neal, takes the mark. Mitchell, there's a lead from Wade. But Mitchell goes back, puts his boot in it, drives down to the goal square. The players set themselves. Murray from behind knocks it down. But here's Goggin. Goggin picks up. He tries to get his kick. Couldn't do so. Taken by Moran. Moran out to the half-back flank on the member stand side. It's in no man's land. They're all racing for it. Down to the ground it comes here. Pushed through by Newlands. In comes Alan Davis. Cops one on the head. Davis is still going there. He can't get balance. He punches the ball away. Still they go through. And look at this.
That'll be a kick to Marshall.
Holding the ball was the decision there, and he's really letting this go and making it a good game too. Marshall, a long kick in towards full forward. There's a chance for Wade, going for it strongly, but two St Kilda players with him all the time. Sierakowski's hand pass. Well done, over towards Sinman. It's right in front of him, a good pass. The kick goes high up towards Breen. Walker in from behind is going to punch it. Down to Stewart. Stewart had it taken away from him there. Hosking gets it. In towards centre half forward again for Geelong from behind Ryan. Couldn't mark it. Down onto the ground. A snap by Sherrick.
Have a look at this.
Right through the middle. Oh, what a beginning, Ted.
All from one mistake then, Butch. One St Kilda mistake. An easy fumble, possibly, which... well, it's easy to say it up here, I know, but 6 points is a valuable 6 points in the first semi-final.
Every kick and touch of the ball is going to be important in this game.
Early, particularly.
Let's go back, though, for a first semi-final. It's a darn good opening, isn't it?
It's a great opening, Mike.
Compliments to the umpire, too.
There they go. The ball is bounced. Taken by Davis once again. He's getting his share of kicks. He drives out towards the flank on the outer side of the ground. The ball comes here. Peter Walker tries to get clear. Beautifully done, Walker. Peter Walker at Geelong kicks in. It's over the centre, up towards centre half foot. Up they go.
Made the mark.
That's the mark of the year.
A man on the flying trapeze. He takes his kick out towards the flank, and the mark is taken there by Gareth Andrews.
Now this is where Geelong went wrong last week. This boy kicks it. There's a lead from Wade. He kicks it too high there. Popped it up. Wade backs back again, but it's a mark to Sierakowski. See, he had the second sit on him by the ball being kicked too high. They're not honouring the lead from Wade.
Listen, Jack Hill, the blind miner, can see the way St Kilda fellows are coming in there, smothering Wade. Up comes Sirakovsky now. He's favouring the member stand flank. Big Carl's in front on this occasion, but he's swamped completely, and he'll be paid a free. I don't think he's going to be paid a mark.
From his own man.
No, there was a bit of a push in the back, Teddy, from a Geelong fella there, to be honest.
Was it?
Yeah, to be honest with you.
He's making him kick that ball again, by the way, because he actually, he did cheat a bit when he went round the mark.
Well, he'd blown time off, Butch. And you must kick over your mark then.
Big Carl.
The ground's in perfect condition, Mike.
Oh, great.
It'd be hard, though, wouldn't it, Ted?
The centre patch, we didn't get out to the centre, but just looking at it from a distance, it looked very, very hard. But the turf around the wings and the flanks is beautiful.
Is it spongy, Ted, or just...
It's in perfect condition, Mike.
Would suit a fellow with your speed. Detrich takes his kick now on a more serious note. Up towards the half-forward flank on the member stand side. Here's a chance for Goggin. He can't get his kick, however. Picked up by Davis once again. Hall hooks it over his shoulder. By golly, he's playing well. Here's a go now for the Saints. Picked up by O'Donnell. Down towards the forward pocket on the member stand side, but straight over the boundary line, there'll be a throw-in. There's Alan Nash. You can see in the dark suit behind there, the umpire's advisor. They must be watching this...
trying to call
boundary
him up,
umpire, this could be it. There's a throw in. They've swamped Cowboy Neal. Down it comes to the ground here. Players overrunner. Picked up by Davis once again. He's killing them. He shoots at the big ones. Tell you what, this is going to be close. It was almost there when a splendid mark in defence by Rosenow, it looks like, has saved the day for the Cats.
It was very good football by St Kilda players there to allow Davis to come through.
Umpire Crouch says which way you're going to kick. He nominates the outer flank. There it goes. Almost pulled down here by Bonnie. Punched away by Ainsworth. Picked up here by Closter. Closter now to the half-forward flank on the outer side. The players move in for it, and Jimmy O'Day takes a very strong chest mark.
Much improved footballer, this fella. Kick goes in towards centre half forward. Breen backing back and Walker, but the mark from behind.
No,
Chris
it's
Mitchell,
a push in the back. Push in the back prior to this happening, Butch.
I agree with you, Ted.
Yeah. He was quick to get onto that free kick, Jeff Crouch, but there was a definite push.
I think he's really making this game of football, you know.
He's doing it. If he can keep this up, it'll probably be one of the best exhibitions of umpiring we've ever seen. Just hope he can.
Breen would, he couldn't kick the distance.
Oh, what?
Who said it? Hush my big mouth. It's right through the middle.
Beautiful goal.
How far, Teddy? Now, be honest.
Well, it looks a good 70 yards to me, Butch. A good 70 yards.
Well, this is why I declared to Michael that I felt there wasn't a great wind advantage, and yet you've agreed with him because I'm not in the reserves. They've been kicking the ball a tremendous distance towards the scoreboard end.
Butch, that's right behind that big new grandstand they've built.
Oh,
there is a gap
the
between the southern stand and the new one where you get the breeze.
Gotcha. Dittrich hits down. Over towards Mitchell. Mitchell picks up. Closter gets it. Oh, it's a wild kick out towards the half-forward flank. O'Day sprinting for it. But I reckon the pace they're moving then, I wouldn't even run a place in that.
Do you think St Kilda look a trifle slow to what they've been?
They looked a bit nervous to me. In goes Ryan from behind. He beats the head down towards the boundary. Closter playing with a lot of determination. Hooks the ball over his shoulder. Ryan, was he paid the mark?
Have to pay
O'Day disappointed though. He's hurt himself, Jimmy O'Day too. Ryan tries the short pass in towards that pocket. Was over the top of Sherrick. Sinman comes through. His kick goes out towards the centre wing, out of bounds.
Now that to me looked a defensive kick, Alan.
Yeah, they're under a bit of pressure. I'm going to say a bit of pressure, a lot of pressure, Ted.
Yes, it's a touch and go at this
Dittrich, a nice knockdown. Dyer couldn't get it, but it's taken by Bonnie, however. Bonnie struggles it up towards the wing position on that outer side. Here's a go now for Farman. He kicks it up towards centre half forward, and coming out there is Stevens, who takes the mark for Geelong. Only a kid in his first season, not a bad player either. Kicks down towards Wade, up they go. Newman in front, couldn't pull it down. It's picked up by Goggin. Goggin over his shoulder. It's in the goal square. They set themselves. It's knocked away by the St Kilda defenders. Hits the ground, taken by Sedman. He's grabbed immediately by Wade. Kick off the ground by Lilly. It's struggled out there. And they're meeting opposition everywhere, but eventually it's Big Carl who gets it. Drives into the centre, and there's nobody home for St Kilda, and Dennis Marshall takes the easy mark. Marshall playing in the centre. Closter is out on the wing, although they were picked differently. Marshall takes his kick. It's a good long one too, about 20 yards out from goal. Not taken by Wade, picked up by Carl. Wade and Carl, I don't think they're too friendly. Taken by Bob Murray, seemed to run over the boundary line. He did. Tell you what, it wouldn't take much to start a fight between Wadey and Big Carl, would it, Ted?
No, it certainly would not. Wouldn't have to be Doug with anybody with Carl.
It's quite loud either. I don't think that Murray's suited to this back pocket. He hasn't been in the game at all, apart from trying to assist Sierakowski. In they go. Dittrich tries to hit down, but Newman cooled it back, but not far enough. There's a free kick to Dittrich. Gee, you see the difference in these two sides from one week to the other. Carl Dittrich now puts his boot into it very nicely, kicks out towards the centre wing. There's Breen in the middle of the pack, takes it. Got a clip in the air for his trouble too.
It's interesting to note, Ted Whitten, that Ian Stewart has exerted no pressure on this game at all.
He's covering a lot of distance, Mike, from the centre position.
Oh, Baldock now in fringe there, but got away with it. The ball forced over here towards Farman. A nice hand pass. A second one to Marshall. Marshall's long kick will reach the square. And Moran slipped in nicely and took a safe mark.
While we're taking a breather, let me add, Ted, I was about to say, Stewart hasn't really been a dominating force so far in this quarter, which doesn't augur well for Geelong for the next 3 quarters, because he'll hit his straps before the day's over.
Well, we hope so, Mike. He's a brilliant player when in form.
Right, and it's another Geelong mark.
Gloucester to take it.
The kicking has been fantastic up to date from both sides.
It's a lead from Wade again. Gloucester, he's honouring the lead too. He's nicely out for it, but forced away by Pascoe. Down to young Stevens, a hand pass to Newland. He goes around back onto the left foot. Will be forced towards the boundary line and
it's
out.
It's over.
Oh, Lilly.
He's let it go, that umpire. Now he waved his hand, the boundary umpire.
He did. He's changed his mind.
Yeah.
Well, it was definitely out, Ted, don't you agree?
Yes, for sure.
Well,
Lilly was the smart boy there in not stopping. 3 goals, 3 to 1-3. 2 goals in front, Geelong. Tremendous crowd here. Up comes Sierakowski. A good kick too. Dropping a little short at that stage. Down to Rossi Smith. The ball scrambled. He kicks it off the ground again, out towards the boundary line. There's Sinman moving through for it, but couldn't quite get it. And not in very good touch at the moment.
I tell you what, Geelong are killing them in the air. We are 22 minutes into the first quarter. Geelong have taken 16 marks to St Kilda's 6.
O'Day.
There you are.
Long kick up here.
Beautiful
An easy mark.
Ryan.
He's certainly a different player this week. A bad kick, and Bonnie will mark it on the centre wing. His kick goes in towards the half-forward flank. Here's a chance for a mark here to Dyer. Puts it down beautifully to Baldock. Baldock pushes it away. Ainsworth comes through solidly. Over towards Marshall. Pushing it back to Stewart, and he'll take the free.
Teddy, this is fantastic. 17 marks to Geelong now to 7 for St Kilda. It's a heck of a big leeway to make up, isn't it?
Well, it's surprising, Mike, because St Kilda are a very good high-marking side.
The kick from Stewart up towards centre-half forward. Oh, they're missing them too. Knocked away here. Here's a chance now for Johnny O'Donnell. He turns back, gets it over to Alan Davis. Alan Davis for mine is about the best on the ground at the moment, up towards the pocket, and Smith marks. Smith plays on immediately, gets around here. He steadies, he shoots in at the big ones. It's across the face of goals. They fly for it. It bounces. Travis Pays pushes the ball on in front of him. He picks it up. He's grabbed here. Could be holding the ball, or he might get a free round the neck.
On the monitor, Mike, that was his only mistake. Crouch is up to date. That looked he looked to be in possession.
It could have been the other side. We only see one side of it, Ted, don't we, really? Travis Page is only 30 yards out. He's on a slight angle. He kicks. He's put it through.
A gift goal, that one. Pays, though, it'll lift his confidence, Ted.
Yes, this is exactly what St Kilda want for some of the younger players in the side to get a little bit of this confidence, because it's a semi-final and a tremendous atmosphere.
Kelly, let me clarify what I said before. The television cameras missed nothing, but on the far side it just might have been a tap on the neck.
I go along with you. I agree.
All bounced, in they go. Newman again.
Oh, he almost blew his whistle for something there. Taken by Newlands down towards centre-half forward. They fly for it. Down to the ground it comes. Players come out the metre. Picked up by Wade. In comes Sierakowski. A long hand pass intercepted here by Sinman. He's held by Andrews.
He's paid the ball.
What?
Oh no. Jeff, that's... Oh, yeah, the rule is that he's got to retard his progress, and he did.
Well, Gareth Andrews now.
Kick.
He's in the pocket. It's about 45 yards out, kicking from the outer side there to the Richmond end goal. It's across a trifle and through for one behind.
Yeah. They do a good job, the umpires.
There's the scoreboard, and 24 minutes into this first quarter, just about to get into the time-on period. Sirakoski's good kick.
Strong mark, strong mark.
This has happened a couple of times, though, from his kickoffs. I don't know why, but the Geelong men are marking the... in fact, well, let's put it, they're marking better than St Kilda everywhere. Good kick from Newman down towards the goal square. Murray's in front here. Pulls it in. He could have been paid it. Yes, I'd pay it.
He's a key position player. I agree with Butch on this. Bob Murray, fullback, that's his best position.
Oh, nice kick too. Oh, Sinman got up high, couldn't quite pull it in. Picked up by Bonnie. Bonnie from the half-back flank on the outer side. Kicks to the wing position. A chance for Breen. Walker gets up to knock it away. In comes Baldock. Baldock pushes the ball on in front of him. He's pushed and he'll get a free. And he almost unloaded Jeff Crouch too. And Jeff, being the gentleman he is, returns the ball to the dock. There's a kick up towards Travis Pays. Pays has the chance. Gets out in front of Strawn and he marks. Oh, that was a good one. No doubt about the Channel 7 cameras now, Director Alf Potter. They pick these things before they happen.
I don't miss a thing, Mike.
You must have a crystal ball down in that OB van, Alf. Travis Pays now. He's already kicked the one. He's about 45 yards out. This kick is across the face of goals a trifle. Up they go. O'Donnell couldn't pull it down. They're going in hard here. And over the line it goes as Hosking couldn't retain control of it. A throw in St Kilda's forward pocket on the Newstand side. Whoa, Newman got up a mile there, knocked it down, picked up by O'Donnell, couldn't get his kick in. Comes Goggin. Goggin tries to break clear, eventually gets his boot to the ball. Out it goes towards the pocket, picked up here by Bill Ryan. Ryan goes for a bit of a run, puts his boot into it, drives it to the wing position on the member stand side, and Barry Pascoe takes a good mark. Golly, he's been a great addition to the St Kilda side. There's his kick in towards centre half forward. The players go for it. Peter Walker in front there. Tries to pull it down, but comes out of the pack with it, however. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Jimmy O'Day in front, pulls in a one-hander. It was a good one.
Yes,
well
good
done. He's at centre half back. Going to go up the middle. Pushed it more out towards Baldock's flank. He's in trouble with Farman. As Farman hits the ball away from him, picks it up. Oh, went for the bounce, but decided to go for the shorter one. Murray moves in, but Mitchell has marked from behind. Play on, he's called. That'll have to be a bounce now. I'd have paid that mark.
Oh, pretty close. Touch and go.
It was a close one. It came off Murray's hands.
That's right.
Ball bounced at centre half forward. Mitchell couldn't get it. Down it comes to Sinman. Sinman in trouble, held, and will get the free. This would break all records, I reckon, this crowd here for first semi. Out towards Closter. Closter went for it solidly. Stewart recovered beautifully, as he always does. A hand pass to Baldock. Oh, Marshall sprinting after him, but Baldock kicked the ball in towards the forward line area. Chance for Pays. Hit down to Walker. Walker comes across that half-back line, goes back onto the right foot, a good hand pass, and allows Ainsworth to come through very neatly and kick into centre half forward. Andrews marks.
This is good football.
There's a Geelong player injured too down in the forward pocket. I think it's young Nan Curvis. Up the ball now, up towards the forward line, and this time he's paying
beautiful mark.
Mitchell from behind, and it's 30 yards out. We're just about at the siren.
It'd have to be Ned Kelly to take it away from him.
It doesn't look anything to be wrong with his injury, Mitchell, either way he's been going.
Well, there's his kick. Seems to be out a bit, but not out too far, and it's through. He pushed it out to the right a bit, Teddy.
Yes, he allowed for the breeze. Yes, you got out of it very nicely.
I wasn't declaring myself.
What is the time there, Michael, in the quarter?
28.5 minutes into the first quarter of the first semi-final with Geelong and St Kilda.
Ball thrown back to Jeff Crouch. Change of ruckman. Now Dittrich has gone off the ball into the forward pocket. Ball bounced. In they go. Oh, nice hit down by Newman. Well placed, but Goggin tackled solidly by a swarm of St Kilda players. It's over towards Baldock and Newman. Little backhander there. Alan Davis kicks up towards Rosa now and Dittrich, but there's a fly for you. Rossi Smith, but couldn't hold it. Down it comes to Walker. He gets the ball away. Over towards the centre wing position. Sinman sprinting in front of Andrews. Punches the ball down. Over towards Newland. Newland punches it back again. It's Lilly there now, trying to break away. A beautiful step around. Comes out towards that centre wing position. Hooks it back in towards his half forward flank. Oh, flying behind O'Donnell. He's playing on, and it's...
Oh, blimey, that's got to be pulled up.
It's being pulled up. It's a free kick.
Oh,
He slipped over. He slipped over, Newlands.
And the pass to Baldock at centre half forward. Gee, that was a good mark. Baldock at centre half forward. Oh, I'm going to make the statement. There's Dittrich in the square. He couldn't make the distance. Baldock comes up. He's going to put it right on the end of the square. It's Dittrich there with Rosa now. The ball punched away by Rosa. Now down to Pays. He's a chance for a left foot snap. 1 point. 4-4 to 2-4. Still 2 goals the difference. Geelong in front. Siren ought to go, although they held play up a little bit in that first few minutes. Strawn, a poor kick. It's saved by Newman, pushes it out to Farman. Farman off the ground over to Cluster. Cluster on the centre wing and Marshall in the centre. The ball back to Newman. They're playing pretty confidently. The kick goes over the centre, but Stewart backing back takes the mark.
He's coming into it now, Stewart. In the last 10 minutes, he's been a much improved player. There's his left foot kick to the half-forward flank on the outer side. In front there is Barry Pascoe. He's manhandled over the line. The ball is forced. There'll be a throw-in.
Never wastes a kick, Harlow, does he?
No. Throw-in takes place. O'Neill goes up there, knocked away by Goggin. Goggin has it, but he's surrounded there. Gets it across to Newman. Newman tries sheer strength, but there'll be a free kick against him. Just in case you ever hear the name Harlow, that's Ian Stewart's second name. Ian Harlow Stewart.
There's a siren.
The siren goes, ending the first quarter of the first semi-final here at the MCG. The scoreboard reading Geelong 4-4-28 to St Kilda 2-4-16. At the MCG, umpire Jeff Crouch bouncing the ball, starting the second quarter of the first semi-final between St Kilda and Geelong. The Saints kicking with the wind in this quarter, down to the Richmond end. There's a chance for Breen, but cutting across here is Farman. He picks up, kicks to the wing position on the member stand side. Costa is racing for it. Bonnie is after him. Costa overruns it, gives Bonnie the chance to pick up. Bonnie now down towards the half-forward flank. They fly. Oh, there's a push in the back. Push in the back going to Breen.
Michael, I was just about to bust in there. Did you see how that ball was bouncing so awkwardly when Cluster was chasing it? Breen, however, now has the ball on a half-forward flank. There's a lead from Pays, but he's kicked it a little short for this. It could be a Geelong mark. No, a chance for Pays. Neil, I beg your pardon. He wrestles his way through, but it's holding the ball. He's a bit technical on this.
Well, fair enough decision, Butch.
Righto, Farman kicks the ball out towards the flank. Oh, Newland dropped the mark. Barry Pascoe fell over, though, and Newland recovered. There's a mark on that centre wing to young Stevens.
He's a good player, this boy, too.
He's very, very good player. Up towards centre half forward. Big pack of players there. Chance for a mark. No, down to Stewart. Look at him pick up that fella. One grab all the time. A long kick out to Barry Pascoe, who led well out to the half forward flank, but it beat him over the line. Getting a little bit cool here at the MCG. The breeze is still about, swirling.
Get some rain, I think, before the day's out, Butch.
Well, they did predict a few showers. Dittrich, he got the squeeze play there, and Mitchell got the knockdown. It's down to Baldock, though, recovered nicely for him. Baldock fiddling a bit today, but still managing to get his boot to the ball. It's up here towards this forward pocket, and a mark to Farman.
Good mark, too.
Well, he's a real improver, too, this fellow. Kick out towards the centre wing. Dittrich has a chance in the middle of the pack, but his own player spoiled him there. Was Lilly over the top. Baldock picks up. Boots it over towards Smith. Smith traps the ball. Not quite enough, though. And another throw in. It's on St Kilda's half-forward flank.
Teddy Whitten, Baldock's getting a lot of grabs.
Yes, I think he's having a run on the ball now, Mike, which St Kilda will have to do to keep him in the game.
That was the idea. Anyhow, before the game started up, they go. Dittrich gets a tap down. Oh, beautifully to Ross Smith. Over it goes to Pascoe. Pascoe quickly gets his boot to it. Up to the pocket it is, and Pays his mark. A good, strong mark, but always in a most awkward position to score from. He's almost hard up against the boundary line. Cowboy Neal gave him the lead out there, but Pays was concentrating.
If anything, Mike, he should kick a cross goal with this, with that win.
Up he comes. It's on its way. It's not a bad hoof at all, but 1 point results from it.
It was a good bit of football by St Kilda, though. A good clean hit out by Dittrich to Smith, to nice mark to Pays. They're settling down a bit more too, St Kilda. And I'm going to agree with you now that there's a definite wind advantage to the Richmond end.
Let's see how Strawn kicks off. Now, he switched flanks, or not a particularly good kick either. He comes along the members' flank here. Punched away by O'Donnell. Nobody able to escape with the ball. Down it comes here. Ainsworth gets it across here to Goggin. Goggin has grabbed a wheel.
Holding the ball.
He's quick. Whoa. He's sudden death.
I'll tell you what, in Jeff Crouch's favour, he's extremely consistent with this one, though.
Well, fair enough. If he does this, Michael, I'm sure the players on both sides will be very happy. But he was very, very quick with that decision.
Ross Smith takes the kick now. Going well down over centre half forward. They fly for it. Farmer went up high, couldn't balloon. Oh, Baldock a scrag there. A chance for little Dyer. And he comes. He's pushed and shoved. Geelong backs there. Nobody able to get it anywhere. A kick off the ground sends it down towards the pocket for the Saints. And a kick by Strawn sends it over the boundary line. There'll be a throw in.
It's good play
in the forward pocket for St Kilda on the member stand side. The Saints kicking down to the Richmond end in this the second quarter. Newman comes in there. Mitchell. Dittrich waits behind. Comes in at the last moment and gets a tap down beautifully to Smith. Oh, good play. Smith snaps. It's a long one. The players set themselves. There it is again. Cowboy Neal.
Well,
now, I'll tell you what. If he was 10 yards out and in front, I wouldn't predict anything. But Cowboy Neal is hard up against the boundary line on the member stand side and is likely to kick it up. He comes, he kicks. He didn't, but by golly, it didn't miss by much, Ted, did it?
About 3 feet.
Oh, turn it up.
All forward at 2-6, and this is costly for St Kilda, 2-6. Strawn going for that short one again on this inner boundary. I think it's too risky. Breen's in front and's marked.
Oh, that's a beautiful mark.
Well, he shouldn't be kicking the ball out here.
I agree with you, Butch. It's a wrong flank because he could be playing to instructions. Who knows?
I tell you what, Ron Hovey's just on his way down there now. Guess what he's going to tell him? Up comes Breen now. It's a long kick too. It's swinging in. Up they go. It's a mark to Rosenau.
Rosenau. Oh, good mark.
He plays his best football in defence, Jeff
Oh,
Rosenau.
doesn't he fancy a grab on the back line?
No, don't all backmen.
He's real good at it though. There's his kick. Still coming along the members' flank. Up they go. Oh, Breen tried to pull in a one-hander. In comes Bonnie. Gets his boot to the ball. Down towards the goal square. Once again, there's a free kick to St Kilda. It's going to Travis Pays. No shadow of doubt about that one, Teddy.
No, that was right in the open spaces. Everybody could see it. And I must agree, Butch, if I was coaching the side, I had anything to do with it, I certainly would instruct the full-back to kick to the other side.
Pays has kicked one. He's only 20 yards out. He's on a slight angle. He kicks. He's put this right through the centre.
And a very handy goal in the first few minutes of the second quarter.
5.5 minutes into the second quarter, Butch.
Scoreboard at 5.5 minutes, 4-4 to 3-6, and they're coming back because they've had St Kilda have had that ball in their forward line for most of this quarter. Ted?
Yes, and they've certainly had a lot of play. A couple of unfortunate incidents early. There's Trevor Pays there, number 20. He's very solid boy, but not very tall for a full forward.
All bounced, in they go. A nice hit down by Newman again, but it's taken away by Stewart. Gets the kick. Boot to the ball. Over here, Hoskins under a lot of pressure. O'Donnell recovers. Hand passes nicely to Bonnie. Bonnie back to Smith. Smith racing from that half-forward line. Couldn't get it into Pays. He's marked again.
Well, look at this.
Gee, they're settling down now, the Saints. Still on a very bad angle. Oh, not a bad angle
he's
now.
moving around, Alan. Now when he straightens up, it's not all that bad. Travis Pays is about 25 yards out. On the angle, as Butch said, he kicks, so he's hooked this one. 1 point.
Tried to use that wind a little too much then.
Well, that wind must be blowing him because he allowed for it the first time he put his boot to it.
Pays has kicked 2 goals, 4 out of their score. It's not bad for a full forward to have had that many shots this early in the game.
Only came in at the last minute. Another bad kick off there, but there was Lady Luck coming in.
And Curvis. Now he shorts one out here towards Newman, who got well over towards that boundary line where Strawn should have kicked in the first place. He's not getting the distance though, Strawn. Kick goes in towards the centre wing position. A chance for a mark. It's scooped over to Dittrich. Dittrich hand passes to Smith. Smith dashes out towards that half-forward flank. Hooks the ball back in towards the hand. Strawn will mark. Hooked it just a little too much.
He was on his own like Lazarus the leper now. He comes straight up the centre. Up they go. Oh, Bonnie there, no free kick, play on as a call, it's struggled out here, nobody able to play.
Oh, gee, no.
Should have bounced.
Dyer has it. Dyer at centre half forward for St Kilda, puts his boot in it, drives down to the goal square, they fly, no mark. And kicked away here by Foreman, but the mark taken by Alan Davis. Davis looks around, there's nobody near him. He sinks his boot into it, it goes across the face of goal. Mitchell backing back, takes a very strong defensive mark.
Well judged mark that.
Oh, beautiful.
Had it all the way. Up comes Chris Mitchell now in towards the centre wing. O'Donnell in front will take the mark. Another strong mark. There's a lot of good football here, Teddy.
Yes, and they're marking a lot better now, St Kilda too.
It said said I as he made a mess of that kick. It's out of bounds in St Kilda's forward line area.
I just think it goes to show you now how much that wind is favouring this end. There's been hardly any play on the Geelong forward line.
In goes Neil. He's forced out of the way. No free kick. Down towards Walker. Walker traps the ball.
It's a
comes
free.
back. Falls on the top of it. And he's getting the free.
Now, if anything, he was in possession and should have been paid. You know, this is where your consistency comes into it.
Walker between his position and the half-back flank. Out towards Marshall. He couldn't mark it. It's a free kick to Marshall and entitled to it too. Stewart fell right over the top of his back. He's on the centre wing position, kicking towards the scoreboard end. There's a lead from Andrews. Marshall's decided to go for the long one. Dittrich has dropped back there though and gets the one hand to it. Down to Sinman. Sinman scrambles that kick over towards the centre. Picked up nicely by Newland. Popped into full forward and all. The players went all over the place there. A chance here for Murray to save. He does and forces it through for 1 point. Have a look at this crowd at the back of the goal here. It's fantastic. 4-5 to 3-7.
Little bit
4
of
points
misunderstanding.
only the difference. Look at that, Ted.
Little bit of misunderstanding there, Butch, on some of the Geelong players' parts.
Bad football, that one.
Never mind.
Up comes Sirakoski. Kicks out towards the flank. Dittrich in the middle of the pack. Gets his hands to it, but down to Smith. It's over towards Davis. Davis has the bounce. The habit of overdoing that. Over towards the flank. Here's a break. Stewart's well in front of the pack. Marshall sprinting for him. The ball kicked in towards full forward. Pay's going for it. Also Neil. Neil turns around on the left foot. It won't make the distance. In towards Dyer in the pocket. The ball scrambled over.
Oh, gee.
Or could nearly have been a mark.
It was close to a mark, wasn't it?
Good effort by the kid.
No, what it was. Now, if anything, this Strawn, he's not having success with his drop kicks, should revert to the punt.
Yeah. He's still now going practically up the centre. And look at this. Davis slipped in. Hand passes to Baldock. It's right back into the teeth of goal. Baldock kicks a very poor one though, and it's out of bounds.
He's taken a little bit easy, old Doc. He's very disappointed with himself too. Have a look.
Teddy, you look at that score, 4-5 to 3-8. About 11 shots.
Yes.
In goes Neil. Down towards Dyer. Dyer well shepherded by Baldock. A left foot snap at goal. Another point.
There's some chances going astray.
And they're only 2 points down now, St Kilda. And we are just on 11 minutes into the second quarter of the first semi-final.
Gee, this is going to be a beauty the way it's going.
It is a beauty.
This full-back's not kicking in well at all.
There's the clock. He's losing more confidence. Hosking moves through to take it and manages to keep it in play, but he's put it into a danger area. Bonnie and Cluster down. And through comes Pascoe hard. Bonnie, stepped around nicely. He's put it in towards Pays again, but it's too high for him. Farman comes through. Pays still in there. Dyer puts it down on the ground, manages a short one. It's over here towards Ainsworth, but well done. Barry Pascoe comes through hard, mistimed it a bit, and over the line.
Well, what would you say when things like that happen to you?
Well, I'd certainly do something about this full-back kicking in the way he's going. He's letting St Kilda in for
there's the free. No, play on is the call. Picked up by Dyer. He doesn't know with the hand pass or not. Taken by Bonnie. Bonnie tries to push the ball in front of him. Does so. Couldn't get his kick. And he's unloaded by Ainsworth.
He whistled the free too, you know.
Yes.
I don't think he saw that at all. I don't mean the free, I mean the decent whack. Good even, kick in towards the flank. It's all St Kilda though. Pascoe recovered off the pack. Passes to Baldock.
Oh, what a pass!
Beautiful pass, beautiful position play.
Baldock, an attempt to make amends here. He's 45 to 50 yards out, directly in front, kicking to the Richmond end goal. It's a funny old kick too, and look at this.
He's kicked the ground, Darrell. Look, he's hurt his foot doing it. Kicked the ground before. He was trying to place. Stubbed his toe though, Ted.
With a punt kick.
Hosking kicks out there now, and Newland tries to push the ball on in front of him. He does so. Newland takes his time, kicks it up towards a half-forward flank. The Geelong fellas, particularly Gareth Andrews, thought he was going to kick further than he did. Sinman anticipated better and took the mark. Greta Sinman now kicks at the half-forward flank on the outer side. There's a glorious mark by Peter Walker of Geelong. Peter Walker breaks clear, puts his boot into it, drives up towards centre half-forward for the Cats. Out they come. Ryan takes it. Ryan a hand pass across to Nankervis. Murray pushes the ball on. Nankervis is in there for Geelong. Nankervis is still going. Then
Well
Curvis
done.
picks up. He tries a short one across here to Ryan. Ryan has unloaded fairly. Over towards the pocket on the outer side. It's over the boundary line for mine.
Yes, boundary.
It is too, and it was a free straight after it to Stevens.
I tell you what, that was a fair dinkum bump from
Nothing
Dietrich
wrong with
too.
it, Mike. Nothing wrong with it.
Up they go now, coming in from behind us, Pascal. It goes to Sinman, just gets his boot to it. Stevens comes in there for Geelong. Oh, cleverly, Stewart keeps the ball in play.
In the back
Only
pocket.
just, however, taken by Lilly. Lilly now to the wing position, cutting across there is Mitchell. And he marks on the wing position on the outer side. Geelong
Marshall.
kicking to the newsstand end. Oh, Marshall on his own. And Ted Whitten saw it coming a mile off. Up comes Marshall now, puts his boot into the ball. He drives it further downfield. They set themselves. Oh, the forwards are swamped there. Stevens can't break clear. Wade cleverly picks up, gets it across to Goggin. Goggin into an open goal, but it's offline. And 1 point results. Oh, boy.
Geelong 3 points in front.
Is Billy Goggin limping?
He hasn't been running on the ball very much, Mike, but he did just come on a few moments ago and now he's back in the pocket.
Scoreboard 4-6 to 3-9, 30 points to 27, and that's how it'll be all day. Another look at Goggin there. No, he doesn't look too bad. Sirakoski all went with a short one, let Stevens right in.
There's a 15-yard. Should be.
He's not paying it though. Yeah, young Stevens, he's within kicking distance. Wade attempts a small lead, but Stevens had every intention of going for the long one. It looks all right. Just a little bit short though. The ball punched down, nicely taken away by Moran. Out towards Bonnie and Closter. Bonnie messed it up a little bit there. Came back on. Didn't recover well. And snaps it out here onto the wing. O'Donnell came well up from half forward flank.
Oh, don't do that, young fellow.
I'll make no comment.
Don't come at that.
Tell you what, he's entitled to be taking 15 yards. Hosking all the same. There's a kick down to the centre half forward position. A glorious mark by Mitchell again.
Not a bad player, is he?
He's a good player.
If he was under a cloud, I'd like to be under the same cloud at some time. There's his kick. In towards the centre. Knocked away here by Smith. Goggin is still going there. Goggin cleverly pushing the ball on in front of him. Across
well
to Newlands.
done,
Round the net. Oh, but play on is the call. Newlands is grabbed by Sinman. A hand pass by Newlands. Sends it out here. A chance for Ryan. He goes to the ground. Tries a hand pass. And whoa, they're going in all directions here. Oh, boy. Picked up by Bonnie. Bonnie going for a run. Kicks down towards centre half forward and Baldock is marked.
Running wild, St Kilda in that forward line. There's another lead.
Farman shook his head as if to say, oh, golly, how could I stop that? A kick from Baldock from a long way out. It's towards the goal square.
Mitchell.
Up they go, and Mitchell again. Tell you what, he's kicked up here now. A short one taken by Ainsworth. Ainsworth runs around. He kicks in towards the centre of the
big
ground.
break here.
Marshall backing back, took a one-hander. Plays on immediately. Gets his kick down forward. There's a go. And Curvis. After him is Moran. In comes Sirakoski. And then Curvis
There's a free. He's played the ball. He's played the ball.
Well, I said that Curvis would get a free. I was wrong. I agree with you, Ted. A short one out here towards Sinman, and Sinman grabs it in like a long-lost brother. Sinman now takes his kick off. Not a bad drop kick to the wing position on the outer side. Big Carl flew up from behind. It's left a little Billy Goggin there. Kicks in towards centre half forward. Coming there is Jimmy O'Day, who takes the mark from Sherrick.
Yeah, brilliant game of football.
O'Day now takes his kick in towards the centre. The players set themselves an easy one for Barry Pascoe. A hand pass here towards Stewart. He goes to the ground. They're all on top of him. Now bounce.
Nice little Harlow there. It's his free kick.
He's bouncing it.
Oh,
Bouncing the ball in the centre of the ground. Up they go. Dietrich taps it down here. In chips Alan Davis. He swings around. Gee, he's playing well. Puts his boot into it. Drives it forward. They come out to meet it. Oh, they've messed it up. Out comes Ainsworth here.
Giving it for a push.
I didn't think there was a St Kilda player around to push at the time. It's Ainsworth with it now. Comes up to take his kick. He kicks, good one to the wing position, and another mark taken by Barry Pascoe. Playing well, Ted, this fellow.
yes, he's fitted into the side very well.
Oh, Baldock, despite manhandling and everything, took the mark. He's between the centre, actually. Well, now he's moved down, Farman has, to centre half forward.
There's a lead. Baldock now goes for the long one again. It's right into the square. Mitchell's in from behind. Two grabs. No, lost it on the second one.
Oh, Smith!
Got through by Smith.
St Kilda have hit the front.
It's taken them a long while too, considering that it's a scoring in, but it's a very nice goal there by Smith, Rossi Smith of St Kilda. 33 to 30 points.
Yes, he scouted the pack very cleverly there, Ross Smith. He anticipated the ball would probably drift over the top of the pack with the wind blowing so hard and kicked a very valuable goal.
Punch away by Ryan. Sinman came through, scrambled it out towards the centre wing. Davis rushing through by Farman, and well done Farman, but it's recovered by Pascoe out towards the pocket. A chance here for Strawn. Strawn bundled to the ground. Rosenau crashes his way through there, and a nice short pass out to the flank. It's Newlands with it. He breaks through that centre wing up towards the half-forward flank. Newman in front will mark. Oh, gee, it's good stuff. Every time an error is made, it leaves the whole game in a shambles. In towards the forward pocket. Mark to Sierakowski in front of Wade.
It was a strong mark too.
Gee, aren't they moving that ball quickly? Sierakowski now from the back pocket, kicking towards the Richmond end goal. Going for this punt kick all the time. Baldock in the middle of the pack. No mark. Down to Davis. Davis went for the hand pass, pulled it away again. Well shepherded by Dittrich. The ball now up towards the forward pocket. Pay's coming out. He scrambles into Strawn's back. No free kick. It's good play there by Walker to Rosenau. Rosenau's in trouble. Bounced that ball. He lets it play on though. Goggin comes through hard. And Goggin recovered it. Tackled by Bonnie. Holding the man is the ball.
Kick. Tell you what, he showed a lot of courage, Billy Goggin there.
Yeah.
A lot of courage.
The little bloke shows a bit too much courage on occasions.
Yeah, want to be a bit bigger than he, the courage he shows.
Short one. Chance for Mitchell. No, it's down onto the ground again. Davis and Cluster. Cluster taken to the ground with the ball. Held onto him, and umpire Crouch saw it clearly and will bounce. It's on the centre wing. Bounce. In they go. Oh, a nice punch down by Lilly. Over towards Goggin. Goggin racing back. Short passes into the centre. Down to Newlands. Back to Marshall. Marshall going right through that centre. Doesn't quite get his boot right into the ball. Oh, there's a mark to Dan Curvis. No. Play on his call. Picked up by O'Day. O'Day gets a high kick up towards centre half forward. A big pack of players there. Farman came through from behind. Oh, look at that for shepherding.
There was another free kick down there that St Kilda books.
Look at this in no man's land. Sherrick.
Sherrick now kicks down towards the forward pocket. Gareth Andrews couldn't pull it in. It will go over the boundary line. Midway between the half-forward flank and forward pocket for Geelong on the member stand side. Wait for the throw in. Newman and Dittrich go for it. Newman gets a tap down here. Moran tries to pull it in. Murray loses sight of it but quickly recovers. Kicks it forward but didn't look, and Goggins has the chance. Goggin kicks.
Oh! He's nearly knocked the knob off the post.
Hit the post.
It was a good effort though. He was on his wrong foot and tried to kick it backwards, and it's now 2 points the difference.
Well, that's tit for tat because St Kilda did that in the first quarter.
That's right, mate.
Same post too.
You're spot on.
Sierakowski coming up to kick in. Getting a bit dark and gloomy here at the MCG. More Marshall. That's down to Goggin. Goggin couldn't quite get his boot to it. O'Day in front of the pack marks. Wade and Andrews getting a little bit confused there between centre half forward and full forward. O'Day, a nice even kick in towards Dittrich. Dittrich, no, one grab. Mitchell hooks it back. A chance for Walker. Walker hand passes to Newland. Newland's got a nice break from that half forward line. Oh, well done. He got right through. And a short one in towards full forward. A chance there again for Ryan. He couldn't get it. It's down. Hand pass to Newland. Newland back to Nankervis to Stevens. And
that was a good. What a terrible lot of work to get that goal.
I agreed with you, Teddy, when you thought, that Newlands was running too far, and it was only the St Kilda player slipping over that let him through.
I tell you what, that's worth replaying if you're talking about forward work, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Well,
37.
That again. Marvellous.
37 points to 33. Geelong are now in front. The time, 27 minutes in the second quarter. Ball bounced awkwardly. Andrews to Gloucester. Hit away from him, though. Down to Rossi Smith. He goes for the long kick out towards the half-forward line. They're jostling and fighting over there. Down to Andrews again, has been moved onto the ball, I reckon. Andrews' kick goes in towards the half-forward flank. Lilly backing back for it. Mitchell coming out from the pocket. A good hand pass back to Cluster. Cluster in bother, gets a left foot kick in towards centre half-forward. Ryan could have been placed at centre half-forward 10.
Oh, that'll Mitchell.
Wide to Sherrick. Sherrick's pretty. He's got an open goal.
It's through. You know what, Butch? I was going to mention this a moment ago that Sherrick has been out of the play, particularly in this quarter. I would give him a roving commission on the forward line.
I think he has actually.
Ryan has gone to centre half forward. Andrews onto the ball.
Sherrick was on the wrong flank. He should have been on this flank on the member stand side, and he kicked that from the outer flank, so he's going all over the place. Andrews, who is on the ball, struggles it across the cluster. Oh, there's
Baldock's
a clash.
kick. He's play on. Boy.
Picked up by Neil. Neil drives it down forward for St Kilda. Backing back as Dittrich, and he's marked.
25 yards out.
Don't turn your back on it,
20
Carl.
what? That's 30 yards out.
I won't argue with you.
25 to 30 yards out. Dittrich kicks and it's a shocker. He's hooked it and put it clean out of bounds.
Well, they've kicked 4-10 now. No, it's out of bounds, 4-9. Throw in. Dittrich and Newman in front. Dittrich over the top, took it, tries a snap at goal. It's curling
I'll tell you
around.
what.
Falling short, and a good mark to Rosenau. Oh, wait a minute, what's he doing here?
He's asking him which way he'd like to kick.
Gotcha, Ted. Rosenau using the inner flank. Newman in front, one-hander. Pulled it down in front of Bree.
He's got big hands, this fellow.
Oh, he's a good type of footballer. Remember that injury he had last year?
Yes.
John Newman kicking in towards the centre wing position. Neil in front. Ball taken away from him by Sherrick. Down to Stewart. Stewart hand passes over towards the flank. O'Donnell couldn't get it. He gets it now over towards Stewart again. But young Nankervis.
There's a neck. Have a look at him. And he choked him.
Yes, he's got it. He's got it pretty hard too. Nankervis. These idiots that throw paper at players, you know. There's a nice kick up towards centre half forward. Ryan in there with Sinman. That nice battle. Baldock tries to get it away. Picked up by Goggin, having more effect on the game. It's up here towards Wade. Over the top of him was Sirakoski. Nankervis trying to get away with it. Oh, he should give it back to Wade.
What about the ball?
He's paid the ball. No, he's paid the Nankervis'
It's
kick.
got to be Nankervis' free.
I'm not arguing with you, Butch. I agree with you.
Now he's only about 20 yards out on a bit of an angle. And they're in front by 10 points, Geelong. It's a good effort. We're forgetting, you know, that the other end was the supposed to be the scoring end. Nankervis. Oh, it looks good. 16 points in front. We're coming on to half-time. 7-7 to 4-9, and St Kilda wasted those shots at goal, no doubt in my mind, Ted.
Yes, I agree with you, Butch. I just noticed Cowboy Neal is in the centre of the ground playing on the ball, -1 boot. I'd hate Big Carl to lob on you, or Big John Newman on the big toe.
He'll feel it for sure. Crouch now, about to bounce. In they go. Oh, nice hit down by Newman, but Pascoe cheated on him. Kicked the ball up high towards full forward. From behind, Strawn, not paid the mark. Dropped it actually, and it's a scramble which Crouch will have to bounce. They're about 40 to 45 yards out from goal. Ball bounced. In they go. Oh, Dittrich moved into Newman there, and I think it's going to be a free kick against Carl. Oh, he nearly threw it away too.
Did you pick up what he was saying, Butch?
Oh, not really. Now Dittrich is being penalised 15 yards for running over the mark. Actually, it was a bit hard, that free kick. The reason he gave it was because Carl jumped into him before he actually went for the ball. Newman now kicks in towards centre half forward. Sinman from behind punches down. There's a chance here again for Newlands. Newlands out here towards Sherrick. Sherrick met by Moran, but gets through that one. He's a left foot shot at goal. He's kicked 3 now. About 28 minutes gone, 8-7 to 4-9. Oh, that's a good lead now, 22 points, Teddy Whitten.
Well, there's a couple of players still in this game look very nervous and very tensed up. They're making a few fundamental errors in defence and also attack, Woods, but the football is still of a very high standard. Oh, good knockdown.
There's a big scramble. Dittrich flashing through the centre there, tackled strongly. The ball goes out towards the wing. Bonnie gets it. His kick goes out towards the half-forward flank. They're racing for it. It's Peter Walker being tackled by O'Donnell. Gets around nicely through Green too. And his kick going in towards the flank. Sharrock tries to get it. Newland also. It's Little Dyer with it now. And a good pass here to Davis. Davis plays on through centre half forward. Hand passes to Breen, a bad one. And good solid one there to Ainsworth. Hand pass back to Baldock. Baldock at goal. 1 point. Now you know what's happening, don't you? Without any more comment. It's getting a bit wild out there.
I'll tell you what, the big fella obviously said, I've had enough of this messing around. I'll use a bit of weight. He was using it fairly, but I'm glad I'm up here. Up goes Davis from behind. Down it comes. Davis is still going. Taken by Newman. Newman swings around. He kicks to the wing position on the outer side. Over the line goes the ball, and we'll wait for the throw-in. Geelong, certainly the Cats with their tails up.
21 points in front with the siren about to come up.
Certainly got the crowd sitting on the edge of their seats too this game.
Oh, did they make a big liar out of me, Geelong? Here they are, down towards Lily. Lily trying all... Oh, absolute throw.
Oh, listen.
That's not a bad rule, eh?
You sure it was a throw?
Now, don't be facetious, Mike. There's the kick by Stevens. It's well up from the flank. Up towards Ryan, but in the front of it, it's Mitchell. It's got to be Mitchell's mark.
Front man.
Murray looking a bit disappointed at that, but quite sure in my mind that it's Mitchell, and Ted Whitten agrees with me. A kick in towards full forward. Chance here for Wade. He's marked it.
They must get this ball up to Wade as quickly as they can. This stops the opposing ruckman of coming down and giving him an extra 1 or 2 men to beat. Well, they're just going for the ball.
They're destroying Wade's game unless they do it.
That's
He's
right.
kicked 1 up to now. 30 yards out.
Looks all right.
Never move. Gee, this is handy. 55. That's going to be 61 points to 34. I wouldn't mind that sort of a lead, Ted. No,
particularly in the first semi-final. Now, it looks as if rain could come, and if this does happen, it's going to make the scores all the more difficult to obtain. But the football is still very good, and if you've already mentioned before that St Kilda have frittered away many opportunities in front of goal with hurried kicks.
Oh, they have.
But still, they're not out of it, Mike.
Oh, no. Long way to go yet in the journey. There the ball has bounced. Dittrich, oh, I tell you what, if he hasn't got a sore ankle, I'm not here. There's the kick to the flank position. Knocked away by O'Day, but after it goes Sharrock. Sharrock pushing the ball on in front of him. He's still going. He's grabbed by Senman.
Out of bounds.
Out of bounds.
Sharrock still looks a bit weary to me. Look, he's limping slightly. Right in front of the members' stand. Dittrich goes for it. Newman got the hit out. The siren sounds. Still for half-time. A good lead. Geelong 9-7, 61.
Position about to bounce the ball, starting the third quarter of the first semi-final between the Cats and the Saints, and the Cats are well on top. They're kicking down to the Richmond end. Newland gets his boot to it, but it's off the side of his boot. He was scragged in over to Sharrock, who's already kicked 3 goals. Oh, what a player he is. There's Sharrock's kick further downfield. They fly for it. It comes to Sinman, who's been a good player for the Saints all day. Across it goes here to Ross Smith. Smith now gets his kick up towards the wing position on the outer side. Baldock goes for it, finds it knocked away. Bonnie pushes the ball across here. Newlands comes in, loses possession. Little Goggin picks up once again, struggles into Newland. Newland in a bit of trouble. Oh, that was a throw.
Made the throw.
Oh, Jack Hill, the blind miner, could see that.
Oh, it was pretty close for mine.
Close.
He moved both hands, the player, when he...
He moved both of them all right, simultaneously.
No, it's a long way away.
There's the kick up towards the centre half forward there, but it's Walker once again playing a solid game to mark. He's at centre half back for Geelong. Holding a handy lead, 61 points to 34 Geelong. Got away in the last 10 minutes into the centre, and there's a nice mark on Newland over the top. Newland steadying the game down a little bit. A nice drop kick too. It's a chance here for O'Day, and he'll mark. Just a little bit short for Wade, who led beautifully. O'Day now goes through that centre half-back position. It's a good kick. Ah, big chance for a punch away there. Successful. Let down to Closter. Closter races from the wing up towards half forward. Andrews comes up from the pocket, tries for the mark, punched away by Murray. The bounce beats them all, and it's nicely kicked up by Lilly. Stewart takes the mark, just in play. Keeps going and kicks in towards centre half forward. Breen and Walker. Walker punches. It's down onto the ground again. Newman, a good hand pass to Goggin. Goggin goes for the short one to Marshall, and he's marked in the middle.
I'll tell you what, that wind isn't as strong now down to the Richmond end. That's the end of which Geelong is kicking as it was in the first two quarters. A good kick. Wade comes out, comes to the boat to the cherry. Harry Pascoe going crook, and Wade got that hard. He's hurt his. I think he's hurt his. Well, what is it? He's hurt. Butch? Oh, just winded. When I say just winded, I certainly wouldn't like it myself. No, I thought it could have been a shoulder injury originally, Ted, the way he did.
No, he's all right. These things happen in the course of a game.
Point is, can he kick the goal, Teddy? Good way out, but he should be able to get the distance.
Well, he's got more experience than any other player on the ground as far as goal kicking is concerned. Have a look at that, will you? Just look at that.
Oh, beauty, and that's
his third. It's his third
goal, and it's 2 minutes 50 seconds into the third quarter. 10 goals, 7-4, 10.
That goal umpire, on the 3 occasions that Wade has kicked his goals, has not moved 1 inch from the centre of the goal square when the ball has been sailing through.
10, 7-4, 10, and Crouch about to bounce. There's Wade in the square, still limping around, but all right. Ball bounced. Dittrich gets a nice hit down there. It's Davis racing through from the centre. Goes a high kick. Out they've come. Pays. Couldn't quite mark it. Strawn jostling him though. Could be a free kick here. A mile of players. Walker. Hey, no, he's going to call a bounce.
Wade is in the hands of the trainers.
In they go.
Not Wade, I'm sorry. It's Strawn going.
Was a good pass by Billy Goggin out to Closter. A little bit long, but it's allowed Closter to race through. His kick goes up towards Andrews. Andrews will mark.
I think Nankervis will be going off the ground too.
He's limping and looks as if he will go off. Up towards the half-forward flank. They go for it. There's another mark to Chris Mitchell. 19th man.
Gladman.
Nankervis off.
Nankervis off. Gladman on. As the kick goes down, it's across the face of goals. The big men fly. Wade was in there. Dittrich appealing for the mark.
No
worries. He's being paid it.
Sirakoski took a little bit of time to get up there. There's little Nankervis, a good player too. Very lightly built fella, walking around the boundary line.
Oh, look at this! Oh, gee whiz!
Wow.
What a Cardinal sin in football!
Right on the chest with it. Only 10 feet in front of him, and whack, another goal. That's 2 goals, 11, 7-4, 10. Oh, Geelong well in front now.
Well, that's what happens when the side is playing like it is. These little things.
But it all happened in 10 minutes, didn't it?
This is right.
Ball being bounced in the middle. A nice hit out by Pascoe, but it's Billy Goggin with it. He meets a wall of players. Pascoe comes through and recovers again. Kicks out towards the flank of Baldock marks. Oh, Nelly went to play on. He's practically in the middle of the ground.
That wind has sprung up again too, Alan.
Swirling all over the place. Wade still being looked at there in the square as they come up towards centre half forward. Ball punched away beautifully by Walker. Down towards Closter. He's in trouble. Copped a hard one. It's little Bonnie now. He couldn't quite get the kick clear. Scramble of players. Goggin racing in front tackle and holding a man. Obvious, but it's for better of advantage to Geelong to let him go. Andrews comes up. Tries to chip the ball over the top of him. He does. Stewart now backs up. His kick goes in towards Barry Pascoe. A bad bounce. It's Closter with it now. A scramble of players. Pascoe trying to kick off the ground. Bonnie. Closter in a bit of trouble on that wing position too. In towards full forward. There's a solid mark here to Johnny Newman.
Marshall.
In towards the set-up. Beautiful pass.
He's playing more to the centre, Dennis. Ian Stewart is wandering quite a lot, but still being very effective for his side.
Oh, kick. He's kicked it a mile. Wade comes out. No mark, however. Here's a chance now for Jimmy O'Day. He's grabbed around the neck. And O'Day will take it. O'Day between the half-back flank on the outer side and the centre half-back positions. Takes his kick up forward now. Ross Smith is there, but it's knocked away, however. Smith recovers. He swings around, puts his left boot into it, drives it up towards the pocket. The players go for it. The ball bounces. Ainsworth was there. In comes Farman. Baldock is doing battle. Stewart is there also. Stewart gets it across here to Alan Davis. Davis can't get a clear kick at it. In comes Ainsworth.
Solid
Over
play.
the line it goes. And there'll be a throw in the forward pocket for St Kilda on the outer side. They're kicking up to the new stand end.
And they're playing very strong in defence, Geelong.
Newman and Neil going for it. Neil gets a tap down here. Oh, golly, down they go. Ainsworth was the one who went down there. Hayes tries to struggle forward. Players dive on top of the ball. Peter Walker comes out with it, but there'll be a ball up.
What I like about Geelong is they're punching the ball away. He's trying to put that over, Crouchy. They punch the ball away, Geelong, when they can't mark.
There they go once again. Oh, and Newman, I thought he could have given away a free. Baldock snaps in at the big ones. Rosenau is standing there in the last line of defence. Rosenau comes out with the ball, kicks to the flank position on the member stand side, over to the mark. Stevens comes in for Geelong. Stevens down towards centre half forward. Gareth Andrews comes out. There's Bobby Murray. He can't get it. Players racing for it. Ryan's coming through there. Ryan has it. Ryan snaps.
All clear. Oh, I thought he could have given away a free then. Crouch was running in very determinedly, but gave the all clear. Ryan getting into this game now, moved to centre half forward when Andrews was switched out of the position. Sirakoski still at full back, 11-8 to 4-10.
And a good move by Geelong there, Butch.
Very good move, Ted. Sirakoski's kick goes deep and towards the flank. It's no mark. Mitchell couldn't. Oh, look at Smith tried the one-handed pick up. There's going to be a free kick here to Rossi Smith.
Holding the man.
Holding the man. He's about the half-back flank, kicking towards the scoreboard end goal, and the breeze has freshened, Mike.
My word, you can see those papers. His kick, not a particularly good one. St Kilda going from bad to worse. A hand pass to Goggin. Goggin tries a daisy cutter. It doesn't come off. Sirakovsky shepherds well to allow Murray to come in and relieve the pressure. He kicks to the half-back flank on the outer side. Over the line, there'll be a throw-in. Oh, how can St Kilda get out of this one?
It's a 40-point lead.
Oh,
Mitchell hits down well. Over towards the flank. Moran comes through, nicely shepherded by Davis. Gets a left foot kick out towards the centre wing. Breen well up from centre half forward with Walker. In fact, he's done his own half-back flank.
Well, it doesn't look to me as if St Kilda have made any changes since half-time.
Down it comes. A nice tap over by Ditwich to Stewart. Stewart, oh, he's in trouble. Still manages to get the kick, though. It's up towards the flank, and there's a mark.
Peter Walker.
Peter Walker, oh, he's been a very effective player. Made all the difference, you know, to Geelong's form. Good even kicking towards centre half forward. They're flying for it, but Dittrich caught the short one. And the crowd roar. Dittrich right from that half back line now, kicking in towards the centre. A chance for Bonnie to mark. He's in trouble. Should have been given the free. Stepping around. He's paid it.
The free.
Good decision, but it was no advantage to him. A high kick up towards full forward. Pays. And moving back there was a chance for Rosa now. Picked up by Strawn. Strawn's kick, not a good one. Bonnie, oh, they're going to clash here. No, it's allowed Geelong to come in. No, Costa gets the kick. In towards centre half forward. St Kilda going from bad to worse as Andrews dropped the mark. And Sinman recovered. Kicks in towards centre half forward. A chance for Breen. Rosa now in from behind. Hits down beautifully to Hosking. Hosking's kick goes out towards the centre wing. Lilly comes through. Nice and strong. Goes for the short one here. And Dyer will mark. He's deep on a half-forward flank.
Gee, he hasn't had a good day, Alan, has he?
No, not the best. Still, they can't have 18 good players all the time. Dyer kicking in towards that full-forward area. Rosa now hits down. There's a chance for O'Donnell. Gets around. Oh, bad kick right across the face of goal. There's a struggle here between Farman and Baldock. Baldock being handled, but gets a left-foot kick at goal. 1 point. How he manages to get that kick in under pressure all the time, Ted.
Yes, he's got a very thick bulk. There's a score, 11-8 Geelong, 4-11 St Kilda. He's got a very thick frame, Darrel Baldock, and chasing him behind when he throws his arms out is very hard to tackle and try and get that ball off him.
Strawn kicking in. There's a chance for Barry Pascoe to take it, and he does very, very safely. Going for the pass here, in towards Pays. Pays and Strawn. Strawn tapped it down. Baldock missed it. Strawn moving through again, gets a left foot to it. Breen goes around through Goggin. No, he's tackled and held. It's holding the man.
Now, in my book, he was in possession, Barry.
I'd agree with you, Ted. Been red hot with these decisions today.
Hasn't had a kick for a while, though.
Breen.
What's that got to do with it?
Oh, look at it though. It's a beauty when he puts it slightly offline though, and a chance here again for Mitchell, is it? Yes, Mitchell racing through from the back pocket. Gets that kick. He's been a tremendous player for Geelong. Oh, messed it up there, but recovered. Still pushing it towards the boundary line and lucky to get out of it.
Paid the man. That was good shepherding by the Geelong players. Good shepherding.
Well, this is where they're doing better things in St Kilda, don't you feel, Ted? You know, the little things. Playing
better as a team. Shepherding is teamwork, and it's what wins games.
Kick now in towards the centre wing. A chance there for Lilly, but through came Pascoe. Tackles Gloucester as he handed it. A nice hand pass to Goggin. And it's Sierakowski well up from goal. Oh, look,
Murray's gone to full back.
Murray's
gone to full back. Sierakowski takes his kick to the wing position. Oh, Cowboy Neil, you know, most peculiar type of mark, but he took it. There's his kick now. He goes right across the ground. He's looking for Baldock, and Baldock marks. Oh, Farman's tailed him up a fair way too. Baldock takes his kick now further downfield. Here's a go. Oh, Stewart.
Gee, copped that one hard. And had no thought of giving up. You notice that, Ted?
No, he's a very courageous player.
Ooh,
and doesn't he wander away from the centre? Tremendous stamina.
I bet right at this moment he wished he hadn't.
Right at this moment he'll be thinking, well, here's a chance to put another score on the board for my side, Mike.
I'm sure of that, Ted. He's a great player and he's within kicking distance. He's about 45 yards out. Cooley, he kicks. He's put it through, and that's the first goal for St Kilda from the 18-minute mark in the second quarter, and we are now almost 13 and a half minutes into the third quarter.
Geelong still leading by 33 points. What was the time again, Mike? 13 minutes.
It's 13 and a half now, Alan.
Into the third quarter, the all-important quarter of the game. In comes Dittrich. Hits down nicely. Moran it is, who got the kick well up towards centre half forward. Did travel no distance, went straight up and down. Rossi Smith tried to mark. Walker comes through. Oh, could have been termed as a throw, that one. Barry Pascoe recovered for St Kilda. Shoots a long one at goal. It's across the line, and Rosenau will take the mark.
Rosenau's been propped there all the time. I don't think he's had a run on the ball, has he?
No, they're alternating those three big fellas into the forward pocket and the flank. Hello, no free kick. Over it comes. Nice long kick in towards the half-forward line. A chance for O'Day, but Ryan playing like a champion today. Kicks it in towards, and Murray streaking out from goal. Won't quite make it, but manages to defend it over the line. I don't know what moves they could make. Ted, what do you think?
Well, I think they must make them on the forward line, St Kilda. Murray to fullback is a good one to start with.
Good punch away by Sierakowski. Over towards Davis. Davis trapped around that boundary line. It's over the line. Another throw in Geelong's half-forward flank. Andrews on the ball. Newman moves in now. Goes over the top of Sierakowski. Could have been a free. Stewart travelling all over the ground. Kicks in towards the centre position. Nicely, Farman came through very strongly and forces it out of bounds. Tremendous crowd here. I can't help saying it. Throw in. Newman and Sierakowski got it then, but Gladman came through nicely. A hand pass to Goggin. It was a bit too high for him. Andrews again.
That
could have been dropping the ball. Moran up towards the centre. A chance for a mark here. No mark. The ball scooted over by Neil in towards Williams. Tackled very strongly. Has a chance. A good hand pass in towards Newlands. Newlands is at centre half forward. Goes for the long one.
Have a look at this.
Right in the square.
Oh!
It's just got his hands to it. Wade queried that decision of the goal umpire.
What a beautiful drop kick, Butch.
Oh, gee, how much do you reckon was in that, inches?
Oh, there was only an inch. He steadied beautifully, Newlands there.
11-9 to 5-11. Geelong still in front. Neil now going off the ball, and Pay's coming on. Pay's is out to the flank. Neil going back up to full forward. Ted, there's the kick in. No mark. Down onto the ground again. Sierakowski, he's really brightened himself up since he came out onto the ball. The ball over towards that half-back line. It's a hand pass by Breen to Stewart. Stewart kicks into full forward. There's a chance for Neil from behind. Misses it. Down onto the ground again. It's drawn in there. And Rosenau defending strongly. Kicks it straight out of bounds. Kilda not having the best of luck, I can assure you.
Well played, Rosenau then, Butch.
Oh, good solid player.
3 out he was.
In they go, Sierakowski and Rosa now down to Dyer. Dyer snaps a shot at goal. It's going to be short. And coming out nice and solidly, Strawn. Strawn has had O'Donnell to full forward and Neil to the pocket. That's what's happened.
Let's see the difference in Strawn's kicking with the breeze. Oh, still not up to scratch, Butch.
No, not good. In they go. Here am I talking. I couldn't kick over a cherry bomb. Gladman struggling away there.
Oh.
Went in a bit hard and Crouch. I think he's going to penalise him.
Yes.
I reckon he ought to.
Davis would take the free. Now, this boy's a pretty good long kick. Gone for the short one, though. Out towards the flank. It's Barry Pascoe with it. He hand passes nicely to Pays. Pays running into goal. Oh, he's hooked it. Now, these are the sort of things that are costing St Kilda the game.
Very unorthodox style of kicking, Pays, hasn't he? Very unorthodox.
Holds the ball a bit close to his body.
11-9 Geelong, St Kilda 5-12. But they have had the chances. There's Strawn kicking off again. He comes to the grandstand side on this occasion.
Down to the ground it comes. Here's a chance for Newman to pick up now. Puts his left foot into it. To the wing position on the member stand side. It'll be over the boundary line as sure as the Lord made apples.
Mike, get a good look at Newman in this next throw-in. Oh, gee, he's got tremendous arms on him. Look at him.
What a comeback he's made too this year.
Nice.
Sierakowski gets in front. Oh, Pascoe tries to hit down. Dyer has it. Gets a hand pass. Goes right in the arms of Marshall. Marshall swings around. Marshall drives down towards centre half forward. Sinman, O'Day almost pulled it in. Sinman was moving across. But it's Sharrock with it. The danger man.
This.
A short one finds Ryan. Ryan plays on immediately with a long drop kick. It's offside.
He should have waited then.
He had plenty of time.
Oh, had nobody to kick to.
Butch, on the spur of the moment, when you're out there, I tell you what, you just don't think of this.
Thrown in the forward pocket on the outer side. Ditwich gets in front. Plenty of opposition for him. Goggin tries a left foot snap. 1 point.
Now Geelong have got the disease of kicking points.
Still, as long as these sides have the ball on their forward line, they've got the chance of kicking a goal.
11, 10, 76 to 5, 12, 42, and what a tremendous difference the last week.
Now here's the state fullback and St Kilda fullback Murray kicking out. Favours the drop kick. Oh, it's a penetrating one deep to the flank position on the outer side there. And here's Ian Harlow-Stewart pulling down the mark.
Harlow.
Where did he get that from?
I don't know.
It's got to be a family name. The kick in
It
towards
is,
the centre
sure
wing,
is.
trapped there by Farman, over to Newman, a nice hand pass too, allows Andrews to come through. He walks, kicks in towards centre half forward, they're racing for it, a chance there for Lilly, he overran it, but through came Bonnie, and Lilly recovered for him, over to Ditwich, Ditwich races through the wing, kicks out towards the flank,
Kick.
a good long kick too, there's a chance here for Pays, his kick goes in, shocking effort, Walker, trapped and tripped, no free kick.
Oh, that's
Down
right.
to the ground again. Neil came through very hard. He cooks round into full forward position. Strawn coming out there solidly. Allows Rose, beg your pardon, Ainsworth to back up for him and just force it over the line. This is where they're safely defending, Ted. No frills.
Yes, they're backing each other up very well.
Newman he allowed that one
could have
go.
been close.
Gladman now. A good pass into the centre. And it's Closter to mark. Closter's marked in the middle of the ground. They've steadied down nicely, Geelong. A good even kick to it towards Lilly could have marked that one. Down it came to Stevens. He taps it over with that left boot. Wade racing for it. But it's too far and out of bounds.
St Kilda, to me, looked to have slowed down considerably since half-time. Geelong are playing to position very well. They're looking for their forwards, looking for players all around the ground as far as that goes.
Oh, Little Smith copped one from Stevens there. There's a hand pass to Gladman. Tackle strongly
well
by Ditwich by
played.
two players. Got around it, Ryan. Holding the ball. Gotta be.
Gee whiz.
Well, anyhow, allowed Murray to relieve the pressure, and Stewart marks in the half-back flank. He's all over the ground, this fella.
Playing well now.
Never gives up. Oh, in towards centre half forward. A chance for Breen to mark. There's a beautifully placed kick then. Breen is in the middle of the ground, kicking out towards that half forward flank. And a very nice mark to O'Donnell. I reckon
He's been due to fire, O'Donnell.
they look a better side with him at full forward, Mike. I've seen a lot of them in the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Right, here's about 60 yards out. Directly in front, he favours the drop kick. I'll tell you what, it's a beautiful kick too.
Good enough.
It's a beauty.
How far do you reckon he kicked that,
Oh,
Tim?
good 65 yards. 60-65.
Here's a badly needed goal.
11-10-76 Geelong, St Kilda 6-12-48. How far into this quarter have we gone, Mike?
We are 21.5 minutes into the third quarter of the first semi-final.
Well, I want a few more.
Jeff Crouch bounces the ball up, goes Sirakovsky. By golly, he's made a difference since he's been in the ruck. Oh, there's Smith, he gets it across here to Sinman. Sinman gets it across to Barry Pascoe. Pascoe has a look before he kicks. Good football. Drives it down. Plenty of opposition there. O'Donnell almost pulled it in. A pick for a throw, picked up by Strawn. Strawn kicks out. He's hit Pascoe right on the chest with it. His kick going into the pocket, looking for Pays. He doesn't find him, however. And there'll be a throw in the forward pocket for St Kilda on the member stand side. They're kicking to the new stand end. Neil and Newman go for it. Oh, Newman got a high tapping down beautifully to Goggin. Has his kick smothered there by Pascoe. Pascoe in everything. Tries one across here and it comes off a glorious pass. Hits Barry Breen right on the old chest.
He's a player
a long way out. Now he would be another 60 yards out. He favours a punt kick.
Curling
That's
back.
Swinging back. I'll tell you what, that's through.
Oh, beautiful goal.
Oh, take no credit away from him for that.
I'll tell you what, Butch, in running, you give it no chance,
Oh,
do you?
no, I just happened to cup it on the monitor and it swung back yards.
When that left his boot, all jokes aside, you would have bet 100 to 1.
Oh, come off it, Mike.
When that left his boot, it looked
100
like
to
going
1.
anywhere.
That's right, fair
Two
enough.
quick goals to St Kilda, brought them back into the game now. Dittrich hits down. It's wild stuff here now. Chris Mitchell hits over towards Ryan. It's Lilly coming through. He's in trouble though. Kicks it the wrong way. Over towards the pocket. Gladman and Moran racing for it. Over the line again. What's the difference now, Mike? 11-10, 7-12. Really, these games can change quickly. A throw in. Mitchell jostling with Dittrich there, hits down nicely. Stewart took it away from him though, and the kick goes up here to Wood. Farman beating Baldock to at that time, but played on foolishly. Baldock recovered, scooped it out towards the centre wing position. Still in trouble as Newland tackles him, and it's out.
Free kick
the ball up. I'll tell you what, St Kilda are getting back into this, boy.
Oh, they've got some class,
They're getting
Mike.
right back into it. There's a kick from Baldock now, up towards a half-forward flank on the outer side. The mark taken by Breen, he plays on. Should have steadied, gets it across. Marshall bundled Smith out of position, taken by Goggin now. Goggin drives down in towards centre-half forward. Here's a go, they move out for it. Oh, Sherrick, could it be?
He must pay the free there to Geelong.
Well, he's got
I
to
think
pay
he
the
might have
mark.
played the mark.
He's going to ball it up.
Well, he must have had some reason for it. There's the bounce, up they go. Crosser comes to Sherrick. A long hand pass by Sherrick across here to Gladman. Gladman drives at the big ones and it's through.
Oh, I thought he'd taken a step too far before he kicked that, Teddy, but it was good stuff because he took the risk.
I thought he was gone, Butch. Possibly he may have seen Doug Wade in the goal square when he did have the ball, but still 6 points on the board. Geelong 12-10-82, St Kilda 7-12. 54. There's a difference there in the score. A big difference. A big leeway for St Kilda to make up.
Well, that was a handy goal to Geelong. Another one to St Kilda, and they'd have been in some strife. Bounce, in they go. Dittrich this time takes it, tries to kick it out towards centre-half forward, doesn't make it. Gloucester should have had the free there. Kick goes up towards centre-half forward. It's Peter Walker, struggling a little bit at the moment. And Breen takes him to the ground and he'll get the free.
He must take the free, Walker. He's a good player at centre-half back.
He held them out in that second quarter, didn't he? A good even kick out towards Marshall and Davis, or they could have both been in trouble. Look at the speed of Marshall. His kick going into centre-half forward, and Sherrick is marked. Now, this is the bloke, I reckon, that put Geelong in front. A high kick up towards Wade, jostling with Murray, and it's too high. Did it too successfully, really. Sirakoski and Wade clash. Two very solid boys. Picked up by Barry Pascoe. Hand pass neatly to Sinman. Sinman puts his boot into the ball, and it's going to be Marshall's mark. He plays on quickly, goes for the left foot. Look how good is this bloke, both-footed. Any one of three it could have been. Andrews is marked about 70 yards out. Going for the high one. A chance for the square. Dittrich has moved in there, though, at the back of the pack.
Oh,
Stevens put it through.
Cannon off the cush.
If he'd have taken that, they'd have swamped him.
That's his second goal he's kicked, young Stevens.
But he get a bonus for that one tonight. 13-10 to 7-12. 28, I'm trying to work that out. 34 points, is it?
I said just a few moments ago that St Kilda were back in it.
Oh, this is how rapidly the game changes, though, Mike.
Talk about in again, out again, Finnegan.
Well, it's been done before and it can still happen. The game is not over until the final bell, Mick.
Crouch bouncing. In they go. Stewart tried it, but it was a very awkward bounce. Kicked off by Andrews over towards Pascoe. Sinman came through. They're struggling.
Oh, he's
St Kilda.
played well, Sinman, though.
Up towards the Pays. Pays knocking the ball on in front of him. Oh, copped the beauty. And Hosking kicks out to Marshall. Marshall breaking clear from Davis. Oh, beautiful driving drop kick out to where Gladman now has the run right into goal, but he's still on an acute angle. He's popped it into Woods. Wadelmark. He's proved a good player. Gladman to come on. There's a boy down there. It's Pays.
He's kicked the treble, Wadey. He's almost on the edge of the goal square. He's only about 15 yards out. He's on a very slight angle. Up he comes. He hoofs it. No worries.
Once again, that goal umpire didn't move.
That's his fourth goal.
What's he kicked there? All many points at all?
I think 4-1. 14-10, Geelong. There's a nice old lead for you.
28 minutes into the third quarter.
He looks a pretty sick boy.
Oh, he copped a beauty, I can tell you. I saw it and had to go on with a call. Doesn't this ground suit Geelong? As Ted Whitten said, it's in perfect condition when he ran around with the Brownlow medalist, our triple Brownlow medalist, Bobby Skilton. The bounce in the centre. Dittrich has the ball hit away from him, down towards Davis, Gogging, tackling him strongly. Davis turns around. He's been a bit quiet, but was an enormous player the first half. Out towards Pays again. Pays tackled by Hosking, now by Rosenau. Rosenau, a very strong player. Puts the ball out here. He's put it into trouble, and Davis will mark. Oh, Bonnie, I beg your pardon.
Oh, he was off too.
Just as well he slipped over.
That's right. Well, he's got nowhere to kick to.
Neal's on his own in the pocket there and ignored him. Up they go. Walker pushes it down, but it's Breen's mark. He's coming back into the game in this quarter.
Breen kicked one from almost the identical position a short time ago. He's about 60 yards out. He's on a slight angle. It's on its way. I'll tell you what, this is right through the centre. Don't worry about that.
It's a lovely goal. That's his third goal. That's his third goal.
Time getting away now in this third quarter. 14-10 to 8-12. Still a big difference in these scores.
The big men have faded out of the game in the last quarter of an hour.
Yeah, very much so. Well, they've been taking the ball around the flanks a lot. In goes Dittrich, but a good punch away by Chris Mitchell. Sinman took it, kicks out towards the flank. It's Pays again going for it. Couldn't quite mark. Scrambled down onto the ground. It's Bonnie now with a good clear run to the ball. He's well out in the half-forward flank. Going for the long one to put it into the square. There's O'Donnell down at the Neal. And Rosa now. Look at him coming right across that goal line with Smith. And what's happening? He's going to bounce the ball. Umpires crouch. Up they go. And through came Rosa. Neal back kicked it through for 1 point.
Tell you what, that would have been spectacular had it come off.
1 each in. Unusual tactics, but they all count.
Strawn kicking in. Look at that scoreboard. Kick in. And they go for it. Breen.
Yes.
No, it's Andrews. In front. Andrews. You think he was going to hold that, the awkward way he was going for it. Andrews now kicks up towards Ryan in the middle. Look at that. Look at a mark in this first quarter. He took, it's the best I've seen for years.
I don't know whether it was T. Sharon or W. Ryan written on that ball. There they come, a chance for Jimmy O'Day. He's grabbed by Sharrock and slammed to the ground. Up they go. Sirakovsky got into the back of a Geelong opponent, but knocked it away. And there'll be a throw in on Geelong's half-forward flank on the member stand side. No, they won't, because there's the siren to end the third quarter with the scoreboard here at the MCG reading. Geelong 14-10, 94. St Kilda 8-13, 61.
Baldock still on the flank.
Here at the MCG, this is Michael Williamson bidding you welcome to the last quarter of the first semi-final between St Kilda and Geelong, and the Cats well on top, 14-10-94 to St Kilda, 8-13-61. Geelong have been playing well, but here's Stewart now. St Kilda kicking with the wind, down to the Richmond end, and this is the final quarter. Peter Walker running back, couldn't get it. In comes Breen for St Kilda. Breen has possession, but he's well tackled there. Gets a hand pass to Ross Smith. Smith in awful strife as he's grabbed by Rosenau. Breen now across to Bonnie. Bonnie steadies, he shoots at the big ones. 1 point results. Our commentators here today, Alan Butchgale, a veteran of over 200 games, and Mr. Football himself, Ted Whitten, a veteran of almost 300 games. I won't bring that point up as Strawn kicks out for Geelong. He kicks to the half-back flank on the member stand side. They fly high. Newman has pulled it down. Any changes, Ted Whitten?
No changes, Mike. O'Donnell's gone to full forward for St Kilda, but there's been no changes since the three-quarter time start.
Hold on. Davis, there is one. Davis has gone to the forward pocket for St Kilda, and I think Trotter's on. I think you'll find that Dyer has gone off. As Stewart kicks down forward, they're racing out for it. Oh, the Saints spoil each other there as the ball is picked up by Farman. Farman now gets his kick out to the half-back flank on the outer side, and Wayne Cluster is marked.
It was just indicative of the bad luck St Kilda have had all day, even though you can take nothing away from Geelong. Look at that from mark to Sirakovsky.
Sirakovsky played well at full-back, but they had to move him eventually to add ruck strength, and Murray went to full-back. There's Sirakovsky's kick now, swinging towards centre half forward. It beats them all. A chance for Newman to relieve the pressure. A hand pass to Billy Goggin, the Cat skipper. Goggin now kicks over the centre. Big Carl moves in, but changed his mind as he saw that Jimmy O'Day had the sit and took the good mark.
Well, St Kilda can't afford to play the short game, Mike. They must play the long game now in this last quarter.
There's the kick now, up towards centre half forward. Alan Davis, he'll be paid it. He's been a good player all day. He tries a short one out here. There's a lead, but it doesn't quite come off. Strawn is in there. In comes Pays. He's buffeted, tries to push the ball on. Picked up by Neal. He runs into all sorts of strife. Ainsworth of Geelong. Ainsworth tries a short one out towards a half-back flank. It's picked up here and driven out of danger by Hosking. It's on the wing position, and I say out of danger. Look at this. In comes Pascoe for St Kilda. Down he drives, and Breen went up a mile. Couldn't pull it in. It's Ainsworth once again. He has a look, goes for a bit of a run, a bounce, kicks up towards centre half back, centre half forward, and at centre half back, Jimmy O'Day takes the mark.
On 2 occasions, Mike, the Geelong player Ainsworth had nowhere to kick to. His players up forward were scattered all over the ground.
I think they've stacked that back line a bit though, Teddy. Look at the area that they're kicking into here. As Hosking has marked, there were 4 Geelong players there. Up they go towards the half-forward line, a chance for Ryan, but Sirakovsky took it off the pack, a long hand pass to Bonnie. Bonnie races through the centre, gets a nice left foot kick in towards centre half-forward. A chance for Neal, he couldn't mark. Newman in there as the extra man. Kicks high towards the centre of the ground. Has a chance here for a mark to Andrews, he couldn't get it. Down it goes to Stewart and Newland in there. Goggin racing for it, showing a ton of pace, he's still in control. A nice hand pass to Farman. Farman gets a short one, that's not the game. In this last quarter, Cluster gets a left foot kick up towards the flank, and then from behind, Sirakovsky marks again.
They're playing their wings quite a lot in this quarter, Geelong. Whether they're playing safe or not, Butch, I don't know, but I would think they would go right down the middle of the ground with such a big lead.
Oh, nice kick from Sirakovsky up towards the half-forward flank on the outer side. In comes Bonnie, tries a run, he gets away here. Bonnie goes around, Farman has him now. Goggin tries a kick off the ground. In comes Baldock. He shepherds for Barry Pascoe. Pascoe's grabbed by Farman. Down he goes. And they're going in all directions. Trott has it. Trott now from a long way out shoots. That's offline, however, out of bounds in the forward pocket for St Kilda on the outer side.
Notice the way that the little fumbles have cost them a fortune today, St Kilda.
Yes,
to repeat, I'm not being sorry for them, but
it has meant a lot to them, Butch, particularly in the early start of the game. But still, Geelong, you must give them credit after last week.
There's a throw in, the ball hits the ground. Baldock comes in there, through comes Rosenau. Great game on the back line. He kicks out towards a half-back flank on the outer side. Over the line it goes. There'll be another throw in. Goggin won the toss and elected to kick to the Richmond end. That's the end with the breeze, but the breeze, I feel, just looking at the ground now, has dropped once again. You can't see the papers moving there. Throw in, Detrich and Mitchell. Mitchell gets it tapped down beautifully to Goggin. Goggin kicks it in towards the centre of the ground. Up they go, and Dennis Marshall marks. Marshall now moves around, puts his boot into it. He drives up towards the flank position on the member stand side. The ball is knocked away here as players go down. Kick off the ground by Trott. They're all after it here. Out comes Travis Pays. He has the go. Hoskins after him. Oh, there'll be a free. Look.
Yes.
Pays is on the wing position on the member stand side.
15
They're giving him a kick.
I tell you what, I'd like to step that 15 yards out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh, hold on, I think he moved up a bit.
I'm only joking.
Travis Pays about to take his kick now. There it goes. It's in towards the centre half forward position. Oh, Geelong players everywhere. It was only Big Carl who saved the day.
He's picked the
There's
kick out.
Smith, and he's going to get it. Ross Smith, last year's Brownlow medal winner. He's kicked one. He is about 45 yards out on an angle, kicking to the Richmond end goal. And do they need goals, the Saints? Up he comes, the ball's on its way, it's swinging around. The goal umpire's watching, 1 point. Now there is a breeze coming across there.
It's not,
sure.
It's not helping the general play as much as what it did early in the game. 14-10 to 8-14, and the kick goes in towards the centre half back position. Dittrich, missed the bad bounce. Bonnie came right through, over towards Baldock. Baldock deep on the half-forward flank, tackled strongly. Baldock shorts one in here, and nicely Goggins stepped in and marked in front of Stewart. Goggin passing out towards that centre wing position. It's all St.Kilda. Lilly runs through, hand passes to Baldock. Baldock has it still on that same position on the half-forward flank. It's going right in towards the square. Strawn and O'Donnell over the line and out of bounds.
Well, the pressure's certainly on in this last quarter. The first 10 minutes has been just like the opening of the game in the first quarter. Players vying for the ball desperately.
In they go. Newman over the top. No, but Neil forced it down to Breen. Breen snaps it. Goal! Through.
It's his fourth goal, Barry Breen, from centre half forward.
Well, he kicked 2 beautiful goals in that third quarter, which gave St Kilda a very strong chance. It's now 5-3, I think, yes?
Came up, that goal came up 6 minutes 40 seconds into the final quarter. There's a knock away from Mitchell. It goes to Marshall of Geelong. The Cats going forward. A magnificent kick by Marshall. Wade, he's moving out, and he takes the good mark.
Isn't he a strong mark?
Oh boy. A Samson-like mark.
Oh, he's got very strong hands.
This is what's proved Geelong a good side to me today. Each time St Kilda have come back at them, they've come again and come very quickly. Wade stepping up the kick. He's kicked 4. And again, that's his fifth. Well, we said last night that Wade had to play a good game for Geelong to win. And he's certainly done the job. 15-10 now to 9-15.
It only took exactly 1 minute for the Cats to reply to Breen's goal for St Kilda. Exactly 1 minute. Breen got his 6 minute 40 seconds, and at 7 minute 40 seconds, Wade replied for the Cats, and that's his 5th for the day. Not a bad day's work.
And they go into the ruck. It's a nice hit down there by Sierakowski. Pays couldn't handle it and punches it, but through came Walker. Look at that, a dashing player today. Oh, long kick up towards the forward pocket. There's a chance for Andrews to mark in front of Dittrich. Well, I certainly wouldn't have Dittrich in the back pocket.
No, I agree with you, Butch.
Forward pocket or nothing, Ted.
Yes, I go along with that.
Andrews coming up. Oh, it's an awkward kick. It's well offline. It'll go through for 1 point.
He's been a very good player. You mentioned this earlier in the commentary, Butch, since he was shifted from centre half forward.
But the moves of Piano have been excellent, I felt, although everything's clicked for him.
I tell you, let's face it, he hasn't really had a bad player, so he could afford to move them around.
That's true.
Originally, Andrews wasn't going all that well, but since then, there's Murray showing his experience straight up the centre. That's the shortest way home, and they've got to get home quickly, St Kilda. There's Baldock with it now. Kicks it out towards the wing position on the member stand side. Pays has the opportunity. Can't quite get it, and he's swamped. Up comes Ainsworth there. Over the line it goes. There'll be a throw-in on the wing position on the member stand side.
Baldock on the ball.
He's a dasher, that Ainsworth. He come up to the centre wing there. Look at Mitchell forced out of the way by Sierakowski down to Stewart. Stewart gets the long kick in towards centre half forward. Farman there couldn't quite get it. Barry Pascoe battling for it. Strawn met him very solidly, but he played on. Hand passes to Breen. Breen's at centre half forward. Pushed aside by Farman. Off the ground. Over to O'Donnell. A hand pass to Davis. Oh, what a pity. Davis tackled by Ainsworth again. It's solid football here and getting a bit tough. Oh, down went O'Donnell. Through they came. Rosa now over to Hosking, and it's a steady down to a walk now as they saved a desperate situation. Mitchell tried to take it on the half volley, pushed in the back by Sierakowski, and must get the free.
Tell you what, there's a few sick fellows down there on that
Good
forward
kid.
line after that incident. This Mitchell has played very, very well today after being under a suspect bad ankle injury.
In towards centre half forward. Ryan in there with Sinman. Sinman hits down. A chance here taken away nicely by Lilly. He's been an excellent footballer for St Kilda all day.
Well,
ball about to be thrown in. It's on Geelong's half forward flank.
This is not going to help St Kilda playing to the flanks.
In they go. Newman, Baldock and Dyer. Trot, I beg your pardon, sitting on that hit out. The kick goes in here towards Mitchell, but Pays came through solidly. Look at Walker. Walker's nice hand pass here to Gladman. Gladman, a bullet-like pass in towards centre half forward. It's Lilly again with the ball. Sinman takes the hand pass from him, kicks in towards the centre. Through very nicely came Farman. He's with Closter. They're fighting for the ball and struggling. Bonnie gets it. He's at the half-forward position. In towards Davis. He mistimed it. Very solidly, Rosa now came through. The ball trapped by Pascoe, though. He puts it back into the teeth of goal. Here they're going for a big mark, but it's Rosa now who took it off the pack. Left foot kick out towards that flank, and they're playing very, very defensively now. Marshall has it. Going for the short one to Closter. Gee, they've placed the ball well round the ground today, Teddy.
Beautiful position football. This is a feature of their game. Up
towards Ryan and Sinman. Sinman grabbed.
Free, gotta be.
Yes, he'll get it.
He's been a great player all day for St Kilda. Sinman, a magnificent player. Kicks in towards the centre of the ground. Up they go. Nobody there to take the mark. Taken by Baldock. Baldock now kicks up towards centre half forward. They set themselves. Walker in front of Breen takes a good mark.
Jeez,
I'll tell you what, everything Geelong is doing is coming off. If they took a ticket in Tats now, they'd win it.
Another mark to Mitchell. In towards full forward now. Goggin, he tries for it, couldn't quite get it. A nice hand pass there by O'Day. Over to Smith, back to O'Day. He's in trouble though, and it's in through now to Moran. Moran's on the half-back line. A scrambling kick up towards his centre half-forward position. Ainsworth taking the risk, comes out strongly from that back pocket again, and look at the pass. Mitchell a mark again. A good high kick in towards full forward. A big pack of players going for it, but it's Sierakowski allowed to take it. Was all St Kilda there too, by the way.
Well, this ground certainly does suit the Geelong side, Butch. You've said it before a dozen times, but they play their best football here. There's no shadow of doubt about that.
Gee, they've showed some great stuff here. Pays up too early and Newman marks.
Well up before acceptances then.
How's the time going, Michael? 15-11 to 9-15. Good kick to Mitchell to Wade. Wade comes through, couldn't quite get it on the second grab. Goes round Murray. Came through strongly there, Sierakowski. A wild hand pass. Moran gets a left foot to it. Out towards the boundary line. It's Newlands coming through, but it's punched away. Over to Goggin. Goggin gives it nicely to Sharrock. Sharrock's left foot is touched. Through they come. It's a struggle in the square. Look at Newlands. He's going to be a throw.
Over the nut.
And he's let it go.
Boy.
A great goal, but you can't hand pass like that. Stevenson, there's the clincher. They've done everything here today.
You can hand pass like that if you're not caught. Golly, Jeffield the blind miner could have seen that.
In goes Mitchell. Down towards Marshall. Marshall tackles solidly, and Bonnie will get the free here. No, it's play on. Pascoe. And Ainsworth marks again. Gee, I like this kid. Here's a kick in towards the centre wing position. Racing for it at the moment. Pascoe, he couldn't get it. It's Sharrock. Hand passing in towards...
she's on here.
Yeah, a little bit of a struggle. Pascoe with Sharrock. They play on up to Baldock. Into Davis. Davis going through. He's a chance for a kick at goal, but into trouble. Back to Baldock. Good football. Baldock got in front and slammed a goal. It's out of bounds.
Well, they're very, very frustrated side, St Kilda. They've tried every trick in the book to offset Geelong's brilliant play here today, but Geelong well on top in most departments.
Just thinking over the game, Teddy, it's been a lot to do with their well-placed kicks.
And what about this fella now, number 8, Mitchell?
Not real bad,
He's been a real thorn. Here is Strawn now, not a particularly good kick from full back, but by golly, he's played well back there in general field play. Here's a go for Closter. He picks up eventually, gets his kick in the centre. Dennis Marshall is standing there. Marshall gets his kick further downfield, and Bob Murray comes out to save the day for St Kilda. But time is running out for the Saints. as Murray takes his kick to the wing position on the member stand side. Pascoe flew high from behind, comes down to Trott now. Trott, who came on and replaced Dyer, kicks down field. There's a chance for Breen to pick up. He tries a hand pass to Ross Smith. Smith now going forward. He steadies, he kicks, but it's going to be offline into the pocket. O'Donnell went up a mile less, struggling for it. Rosenau could get a free. No play on is the call. And there'll be a throw in St Kilda's forward pocket on the outer side.
Collings on, and a St Kilda player must be off. In they go on. Free kick against Neil.
Back of Mitchell. There will be a penalty.
Trevor Pays is off the ground. St Kilda.
Well, he wasn't a bad player in this quarter either, Pays, so it's another blow to St Kilda.
Yes, he's pulled the penalty on him.
Chris Mitchell. Nobody on the mark.
A run.
All the time in the world. Oh, they got them completely rattled. 3 bounces for the bloke not minding his mark. Here's the kick into the centre of the ground. No mark. Ryan was a chance, but a good hand pass over to Marshall, to Stevens. His kick goes up towards the forward pocket. Out comes Wade. Wade turns around the right foot. He'll have a go at this. Hit the post.
Hit the post. And a peculiar thing about this match, that is the 3rd time that the post has been hit up that end, up the new stand end, and exactly the same post. It must have some attraction for the ball.
Look at that, Ted. 16-12 to 9-15.
Pretty good.
The official attendance here at the first semi-final, 98,885. 98,885. There's a crowd for you.
Murray always hooked this badly. Allows Sherrick, but O'Day playing strongly. It's back towards Wade. Wade tackled by O'Day. Still going on though. Gee, what a good player today. Goggin, a nice hand pass. It's picked up by Sherrick again at goal. Another one to Sherrick, and I think he's kicked 4.
4 or 5 on. I counted your thumb then too. He's kicked 4.
17-12 to 9-15. Oh, it's good football there, though. By gee, they've worked beautifully as a forward line today, haven't they, Ted? Everybody's done a bit.
As you've already mentioned, Butch, the position play, their kicking to position has been something to see today.
This is a record for a first semi-final, the crowd, you know. A record for a first semi-final.
There's no doubt about that.
Yep.
Kick here by Hoskins. He's at centre-half back. The ground's in glorious condition here at the MCG. In they go, and there's a mark to Ryan. A big difference in the side. Here, since Ryan went to centre-half forward and Andrews went onto the ball and acted as a ruckman. Now, where is the problem here? Kraut's still sorting it out. It's Ryan's kick. He's a long way out. Kicking towards us. Oh, look, there's a lead from Wade. He's sprinting for it. He's a chance too. Couldn't quite make it.
Oh.
A chance for Lilly down to Rossi Smith. He gets it through. Not a good kick though, and allows the Geelong player there, Ainsworth, to move in front of his opponent.
Gee, he's a good player, Ainsworth.
Played very well. Very well in
Shows
defence.
some courage the way he'll come up the field. Oh, poor kick into Goggin. No, still he's got plenty of time. Sprints through there, going to be tackled by Davis. Gets a short one here and a mark. Chris Mitchell again.
Mitchell has kicked 1 goal, I think.
It's going to fall short. Dittrich moving for it. In from behind. There was a chance there for Ryan. He couldn't get it. Dittrich trying to kick it off the ground. Through came Gladman. Gladman tackled and held, and it's going to be free to Gladman. Well, actually had 2 free kicks in that passage of play. Crouch paying the kick now about 30 yards out.
I'll tell you what, if footballers were racehorses, there'd be a nice inquiry after this, wouldn't there?
Oh, look, it's impossible really to pick Geelong after seeing them last week, but it's as if you put them in different Guernseys. Here's the kick now. It's falling short. Nearly a chance there for Ryan, but Lilly again defends. Kicks out to where O'Day marks. O'Day, a good player too. Marshall took it away from them and snapped back at goal.
O'Day dropped the mark, Butch.
Yes.
Did he?
My word.
Doesn't drop too many, that's what's got me in. Throw in. Dittrich again. Mitchell moving over the top of him, and a beautiful hit out right under the end of the square. Not a help by his players not being there, and the relieving kick out. Newlands marks. He's well out in the half-forward flank.
Sirakovsky had nowhere to go, really. Across it goes towards Gareth Andrews, and he takes a good mark. Well, Geelong are really going away with this first semi-final. They'll go into the preliminary final unless a miracle happens here. Andrews takes his kick. It's offline, I feel, and 1 point will result from it.
Have a look at that big crowd here, as Michael's just mentioned. 98,000, and the scoreboard 17-13 to 9-15.
I tell you what, you'd have to be stark raving mad to say that this sort of thing could happen after last week's performance of St Kilda against Geelong.
I wasn't game, I'll be quite honest with
Murray, a glorious kick out now, almost to the centre. Up they go. It's a Geelong mark.
Newman.
John Newman. He's been a good player. Oh, there's a long hand pass now. Across it goes into Andrews. Andrews to Marshall. Marshall shoots. He stuck it right through. Beautiful. And away we go.
Beautiful football. Well, there's your position play. You're backing up your teamwork and cooperation on the forward line. I didn't see last week's game, Butch, but I tell you what, Geelong certainly have proved 200% on their effort, according to the boys that
I saw every kick of the game, Teddy, and I couldn't for the life of me pick up. Now here's Scarlett on, and a player off for Geelong.
Mitchell off.
Mitchell off. They're trying to save him, I'll bet.
Oh, yeah.
Here they are, hitting the ball out again. It was
Goggin who kicks it to the half-forward flank on the member stand side. Sherrick and O'Day battling. O'Day gets the free out of this. And Geelong have actually taken 81 marks to St Kilda's 63 so far, and the free kicks are just about even.
Have a look at that boy coming off, Chris Mitchell. They wouldn't have been this far in front without him today, I can tell you for sure.
Boy.
And there's another mark. Newman, two great players. Newman at centre half-back. Long kick. Look, he selected that. It was a good lead, but the players let it go. It was too far, and Lilly marks.
Lilly is on the half-back flank on the outer side. He takes his kick now in towards centre half forward. The ball is swinging. Breen is there. So too is Peter Walker, and Walker wins the day. He was forced back into that. By golly, he's a good player. Kicks in towards the centre of the ground. The ball bounces. Colin tries to knock it away. In comes Billy Goggin there. He's doing battle with Pascoe. Pascoe eventually gets his boot to it. Baldock overruns the ball. Here's a chance for Geelong to get out of trouble as the ball is driven to the wing position. Oh, there'll be a free.
Well, that's all he can do. Other than that, just let him mark it.
15 yards.
Gee, nothing's gone right for the Saints, Ted.
No. Just watch the position where they place this ball, Marshall.
22.5 minutes into the final quarter of the preliminary, the first semi-final. When I'm thinking of Geelong, as far as I am concerned, are going into the preliminary final. Taken here by Gareth Andrews, hooks it over his shoulder. The players set themselves, Wade is there, has it knocked away, however. Taken here by Moran. Moran tries a hand pass. Tidbits couldn't sight it at all. Taken by Newlands.
This, will you?
And Newlands, as cool as you like, has popped it through.
Oh, that's good football. They're playing
I'll tell you what, the way Geelong are playing, it wouldn't surprise me to see Ainsworth kick a goal at any moment.
Yeah,
he's their back pocket
This
player.
is really just too much, Mike. That St Kilda's confidence has gone done to a frazzle. And this is what happens in these games, of course. Everything that Geelong do come off and everything that St Kilda attempt goes rotten.
That's a free to Sirakoski. Newman pushed in the back.
Sirakovsky's kick now going forward to the half-forward flank on the outer side. There's Ainsworth. Oh, he's limping too.
It's his mark.
He's got the kick all right, but by golly, there he is limping.
Take him off and wrap him up in cotton wool.
Right, there's his kick now. He tries to get it in towards the centre, but it's shark here by Ross Smith. He's still battling on, although things look hopeless, and he'll get a free too.
Yeah, there was only one reason he went that way, to try and get the free, was he get nobody to kick to.
Nobody at home here. He tries a short one in here. He's looking for Colling, and Colling is Mark. Hello. I'll tell you what.
What, Mick?
I was just about to say,
no
so close to playing in another final game. There's Colling's kick, and it's 1 point. I don't think any Geelong players should take any risk at this stage.
No, I agree with you entirely. 19-13, 127 to 9-16. What a lead.
Newman. Oh, he's doing it on the bit now. Great player. Was injured last week early in the game. This didn't help Geelong.
Playing safe now.
Out to Marshall. Marshall tries the one-hander that time. Hosking comes through and backs him back, and Colling grabbed and held. Not seen, and the pass goes to Sherrick. Sherrick's got it on the centre.
And there's Bob Buchanan, the Herald photographer, bowled over. by the boundary umpire. Picked up here by Barry Pascoe. He can't get his kick. He's tackled by Sharrock. Gets it across here to Davis. Davis now swings around. He kicks up towards centre half forward. The players move into position here. Baldock is there. Farman too. Stewart tries a hand pass across here towards Barry Breen. Breen gets it over towards Bonnie. Bonnie swings around. He's got a golden opportunity. He doesn't mess it up. There's a goal for the Saints.
Right on the 25-minute mark, Mike.
When you look at the St Kilda players, they'll be very, very pleased when that siren goes. I can assure you of that.
Oh, well, you know how you feel when they produce this sort of football on your team.
There's the clock, 26 minutes into the last quarter of the first semi-final. 98,000 people, an all-time record.
And the ground in terrific condition.
Couldn't ask for any better, Butch.
Oh, no, there's no excuses here. A nice hit down. Punched it away again. Davis chipped in though, took it, tried to give it to Pascoe. Pascoe scrambled it. It's out to Marshall again. He's been a good player. Out towards the half-forward flank to Closter again. Closter pushed aside by Lilly. Lilly takes it through that centre wing position, running right around the outer boundary towards the Richmond end goal. He's had 3 bounces. Puts his boot into it now, but it's well offline and out of bounds. Indicative of the things that have been happening to St Kilda all day. Even their good things don't work. Neil. Number 18 on the ball with Andrews. Good performer too, Andrews. In they go. Nice hit down. Pushed out there by Rossi Smith. Over towards Ainsworth again. He left foots it. A chance for Bonnie to mark. Bonnie's deep on the half-forward flank. He gets the kick in now towards full forward. A chance, a bit of jostling there. Farman hits down. Neil racing in towards that pocket. Brushed aside by Rosenau. Rosenau has been a tremendous footballer. He's defended strongly all day, and there's a mark to Closter. Back to Goggin. Goggin sprints through the centre. And the pass, no, hits O'Day.
O'Day is at centre half back now. Puts his boot into the ball, drives it down towards centre half forward. Colling is waiting there, who came on as 20th man. Colling, actually between the centre and centre half forward positions, takes his kick. He takes a short one. It's going to be a Geelong mark. No, it's not. Just knocked away at the last moment. Down it comes here towards Strawn. There could be a free kick. It's going to Ainsworth. He was held. St Kilda crowd going crook, but he was held. There's the kick forward. It's taken here by Closter. Closter puts his boot into it. It's a funny sort of kick in towards the centre, and Big Carl takes him out.
His kick goes in towards centre half forward. No, pretty cool to the bloke. Cruel to Didridge then. Walker marks safely at centre half back. Oh, gee, that crowd are merciless. Walker now races through that half back line. Heading now towards the centre. Kicking in towards centre half forward. Once again, O'Dale mark. Colling, I beg your pardon.
Colling now kicks in towards the centre. There's nobody home. The ball bounces. Pascoe comes there with Closter. Down they both go. It's picked up here by Scarlett. He tries to push the ball in front of him. He's fumbling. He came on as 20th man for the Cats. There's his kick going further downfield. Players overrun the ball. A chance for Murray to take it quite easily. Kicks to the half-back flank on the outer side. Out into the crowd it goes. There'll be a throw-in. It's on Geelong's half-forward flank on that outer side. And we are 28 minutes, almost 28 and a half minutes into the final stanza. Up they go there. Sirakovsky in front, gets it. He tries a long hand pass here towards Bonnie. Bonnie's showing plenty of pace now, steadies. He tries another pass up towards Breen, and Breen marks. This is good football from St Kilda. They're battling on, but Breen is caught, and Newman has the golden opportunity. Ainsworth says, I'll have a kick if you don't mind. Passes it up here. Gareth Andrews in possession. Andrews a short one across here to Closter. Closter now drives it further downfield, but a mark in defence to Sinman. One golly for mine, who's been one of the best St Kilda players. Sinman now takes his kick. Up towards the wing position on the outer side. Up they go. It's Colling once again. Colling now tries a short one in here. Will it come off? Baldock comes out to meet it. Farman's with him. In they go. Farman has the set. Baldock is still battling on. He's grabbed. Baldock is still going. The Saints skipper steadies. He shoots further downfield. Stewart tried to mark. In comes Stewart. Trot. He's grabbed by Rosenau. He's well shepherded as he kicks. And he's put it through.
I wonder if Ainsworth hurt himself there. He's limping. Wasn't a bad little effort there, though, by Stewart Trott.
No, it's just a matter of seeing our time. I don't think that Ainsworth has injured himself, Butch. He received that 10 minutes ago.
Well, he'd have to be tired, Ted, wouldn't he?
Oh, naturally. He's received a lot of hard knocks, and he's also given a lot.
Look at Newlands. He can hardly stand up.
Very fairly, too.
Look at that boy.
They're all very tired. This has been a pretty hard tempo today, Butch, and the ground is not real hard, but it's, you know, it's pretty tough.
Oh, a nice hit down by Newman over to Scarlett. Scarlett brushed aside by Sirakovsky. Little Smith and Goggin having a go there. Sirakoski picks up over to Bonnie. A hand pass here to Barry Pascoe. He's at centre half forward, going into goal now. A wonky old kick out off the side of his boot. Out to Neil. Neil sprinting towards the pocket. Goes around and a nice hand pass to Stewart. Stewart on his own gets a left foot bang at the goal. One point. Oh, it was from a very acute angle though.
St Kilda players looking rather dejected. There's Ainsworth. And there's the scoreboard. 19-13. St Kilda 11-17. Well, I guess nobody expected this. One or two good judges may have thought Geelong would win it, but by golly, they didn't think they'd win quite as handsomely as this. There's the punch by Newman, and there's the finish of the first semi-final. And now we find Geelong going into the preliminary final. The scoreboard reads Geelong 19-13, 127, St Kilda 11-17, 83.